Giddy, 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 giddy. They'll go and take some book and they'll be Charlie. Giddy, hey, what is this? You know, just relax, just focus, trust the process. Fret not yourself because of he who brings evil devices to pass. Trust in the Lord and do good. Yeah, this is Psalm 37 stuff. You know, because sometimes you are going to write, maybe you are going to write Wasi or something, then Charlie, people are doing giddy learning. Hey, Caleb, when you are going to write exams and people are learning and they bring some new book and then like 1 hour to lesson, I can't say Charlie some new method. Hey, what is this? Then catch you. Now, my message is very simple. Do not fret because of evildoers. Yeah, do not be envious of workers of iniquity. Yes. Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and feed on his faithfulness. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust also in him and he will bring it to pass. Don't be intimidated because people are doing new formula. Some people are doing giddy. They are launching a new business and they are coming up with new adverts. Hey, what is this? Charlie, people are doing wild things. Sometimes being cool is the main path to victory. So don't let people's rushing worry you. Yeah, that's the message for the morning.
Thank you very much.
Don't go and launch a new thing. It's like, let's do something. Yeah. You know, because maybe your competitors have gone to do something. Cool. You know, they've gone to sign some new agreement and they are bringing some new cars into the system. They have some new billboards. Then Charlie, you are hot. It's like, what can we do? We are not doing anything. Then your people will be saying, but we don't do anything. Every time people are doing things. You know, or you're in your house and daddy, people are buying new cars, they are traveling abroad. We are not, daddy, house is boring. Pressure. You know, don't let people pressurize you to do anything. Just take them cool.
Thank you.
Trust the process.
Thank you for the words.
Because you know, those days when we're going to rise, I'm saying.
But for your pressure, you think I'll be sitting here with you?
No, I'm talking about something. No, you know, some people when you are going to write exam, then we'll go introduce some new book, some new formula.
Yes.
And they'll say, Charlie, this thing is coming. This is
how almighty formula.
Charlie,
if you put everything inside, you can solve anything.
Don't mind them. Don't mind them. Anyway, we're getting to a newspaper review. And, Business Sense brought to us by ADB. Call 0302-210-210. ADB, the People's Bank. ADB, truly agri and more. Review segment brought to us by Piva Beverages. Look out for the different flavors of Piva. Piva Cola, Piva Orange. We have Piva Cocktail. We have Piva Grape. And my favorite, Piva Tangy.
Yes, sir.
From Tangerine.
Yeah, man.
Now you can call 0550-032-231 for bulk purchase. This is the new drink shaking the system. Yeah.
I went to,
Oh, you went to sample it?
I went to this when I was on the other side. I went to the shop. I wanted to buy tangerine. And people say, so the thing no tangerine. What be tangerine?
How do you call
it? In there, they say easy peel. Easy peel.
In the UK?
Yeah.
True.
They don't know tangerine. Easy peel.
What is this?
These are our Indian brothers and sisters. I greet all of them.
Easy peel.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know this.
Meanwhile, don't wait for December when we can bring Christmas to you early. Total Energies is kicking off the holiday spirit with our Bronya Lube Base Special from 1st November till 31st January next year. We're spreading some festive cheer. Swing by our main outlets: Liberation Road, Tesano, Dakuman, Link Road, Sakumono, Farah Avenue, Oxford Street, Community 1 Stadium, and Apremdo. Total service stations. Change your engine oil and get a free elite car wash to keep your ride sparkling. Follow us on Facebook, on X, and Instagram. And whatever you do to add value to this world, Fidelity Bank's purpose is to inspire your success and collaborate with you every step of the way. Believe with us at Fidelity Bank. Ebefa. So today, Sky brought what's the name of this thing? A jar of roasted cocoyam. No, is it roasted or fried?
It's fried. It looks fried.
Fried cocoyam.
Yes, man.
How did they peel it? It's like they use some machine to peel it.
Yes.
It's very flaky.
Yes.
So this is fried amankeni.
Yes, it is so. Yes.
But why don't you export it?
Well, now you
because fried mankeni is nice.
It'd be very nice, brutal.
It's a good snack.
Yes. So you chop and small.
But it also looks like brobeo.
Yeah. looks like.
But I know Brobe is Mankini's big brother.
Yes.
Mankini. Me, I prefer Brobe to Mankini.
Oh, really?
Brobe is softer.
It has some nice flavor too.
Mankini is like a hardcore. Like, Mankini is like it's too hard.
But it be brutal, especially
when it's fried.
Yeah,
when you fry it's good. But Brobe, when you boil Brobe, is correct.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, you know Brobe. Smooth. So all those who are called Brobe in Ghana, we know where you are from.
So good morning to all the people who produce.
But there's no brand name on it.
No. This one is
homemade.
Yeah, they call it Silver Spoon. It's from the stables of Silver Spoon.
Silver Spoon Mankini special.
Yeah, so.
It's a big okay.
The Daily Guy says this morning, Ashanti clergy embraces education reform. And our good friend Dr. Educhum is here on the front page of the newspaper for the Daily Guy this morning. Also, Parliament must lead Africa's global response. I'll be telling you to what. OT chiefs declare support for Baumia. Why is it every chief is declaring support for Baumia?
But it's the declaration season.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, they are declaring. Season of declaration.
And I will make Commonwealth relevant. Yesterday, Ayoko Bochi, the Minister for Foreign Affairs, and Commonwealth Secretary General-elect came to Ghana, and it was a beautiful ceremony.
Powerful.
Congratulations to her.
Yeah. So Ghanaian Times this morning, renewed Boko chieftaincy conflict, 20 shot dead, many others injured. Comes with a photograph of Naba Asigri Abugrago Azoka II, who is the Boko Naba, and Ayoko Boche receives tumultuous welcome home as she returns after successful election as new Commonwealth Secretary General. Parliamentary impasse deepens as businessman files case against recall of Parliament.
Let me take you to the Anchor newspaper. Alban Bagbin stokes fresh controversy. Rejects Supreme Court writ served on Parliament. Comes with a photograph of the Speaker, the Majority Leader, and then also the Chief Justice of the Republic. Also on the front page this morning, Interior Ministry imposes 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew on Boku. And then something here that says, Assemblyman dies while fixing street lights for his people. Oh, this is
how did that happen?
Charlie.
The Chronicle this morning, my election is a win for Ghana, Ayoko Boche assets, and 81 modern school blocks ready. Educhum tells the clergy in Kumasi. Zoom Lion wins heart of Museveni as Ugandan president directs KCCA to hand over landfill site to Ghanaian conglomerate.
The Daily Post says this morning, Speaker Bagbin strikes back at Supreme Court, and he's here spotting some, the people from
Sokoto. This is the Emir of
Kano,
or the Sultan of Sokoto.
That's
how he dresses.
Powerful. Sumana.
It's a big
man. Also on the front page, Muhammad donates to Zakat Trust Fund at the 4th Muslim Conference. Some other stories here on the front page.
Daybreak is the final one. Police close to arresting Agona West shooters. U.S. restricts visa for democracy saboteurs in Ghana. Police foil Kwewu chief murder, and NDC smear agenda against NAPO backfires.
Let me take you to the BNFT. Finally, investor confidence very high. Finance Minister talking here, and we're told that ADB records 3.4 billion Ghana cedi deposit growth, and then profit continues to soar. And government expects cedi to withstand seasonal demand surge. Charlie, yesterday, some client asked me to go and do some transaction. Charlie, the numbers,
even the cedi is not cedi. CitiNewsroom.com. The lead story for the morning is the breaking news. Ghana Freedom Party Dakwa Donko is dead. That's the story there. Dialogue needed to resolve parliamentary impasse. Chairman Sabonsu speaking. Ayuko dismisses legitimacy claims of rival GAM Manche. And then election 2024, Ghana card to be primary source for passport applications. Baumia is speaking somewhere. In other stories, election 2024, I won't be intimidated. Cynthia Morrison, and government imposes curfew on Boko after deadly clashes. Now, Chief Justice has also referred the Atim Mokwa Chief's Galamsey case to the court rather has referred the Atim Mokwa Chief Galamsey case to Chief Justice. So that's an interesting one there. If you go to Channel 1, the Ekwadonko story is also there. Meanwhile, Napo says cocoa rehabilitation program has restored livelihoods of farmers. And then cocoa farms in Western region devastated as Galamsey continues unchecked. Meanwhile, Haruna Idrisu says we'll win all 18 seats in Northern Region. Haruna Idrisu speaking as part of the campaign. Meanwhile, US announces visa bans for individuals undermining Ghana's democracy. That story is almost everywhere. MyJoyOnline.com's lead story is on education. 447,000 students gain automatic admission as 2024 school placement results are released. We'll focus a bit on this morning. How can US determine how Ghana's democracy is formulated? And done so on new visa policy. Meanwhile, Media Foundation welcomes the US visa restriction for persons who undermine Ghana's democracy. So, two views on that issue as well. And then EC announces revision of 2024 ballot statistics with some minor changes there. If you go global, Puerto Rico Archbishop and GOP leader demand Trump apology over garbage row. And then in sports, Rodrigo is the world's best player. Real Madrid boycott Ballon d'Or. They say, yeah, they were not even a fly from Real Madrid was there.
Oh, Charlie.
Nobody came there, Charlie. Vinicius.
Charlie.
So Rodri is the best player in the world. So I think we'll give you the Kwadonko story. It's the latest.
It's not in the papers.
Nana Tufo interviewed a son of the politician or businesswoman turned politician, and he confirmed the story to us that she passed on at the Ridge Hospital. A family source told us this morning. Now, details surrounding the death are unclear, but she was vibrant, outspoken, made a lasting impact on Ghana's politics with her unorthodox style, advocating for rights of farmers and women. That was her message. And of course, she founded a GFP where she championed grassroots causes. And she attempted the presidential bid twice, her most recent being the 2024, where she's number 3 on the ballot. She was disqualified by the EC in the previous election for not meeting eligibility requirements in the past. That's 2012 and then 2016 as well. But she was on for 2020 and 2024. So that's Madam Kwadonko here. So rest in peace. A few stories for you this morning. I want to take you to Western Region because cocoa farms in Western Region are devastated as galamsey continues unchecked. And I'm just reading the story as I see it. Akwesi Ajayi is reporting that despite government's recent declaration of a renewed crackdown on illegal mining or galamsey in response to public outcry, the Wasa and Menfi areas of the Western Region continue to see rampant illegal mining operations. Channel 1 TV Western Regional correspondent Akwesi Ajayi reports that galamsey activities persist openly in parts of the Western Region, seemingly unchecked by local officials, security officials, and regulatory bodies. Illegal mining is visible along the Menfi East or Menfi Central Highway, where miners operate undeterred on either side of the road. This occurs despite regular travels by local police, the District Chief Executive and Minerals Commission officials, who are expected to support the anti-galamsey efforts. In Nyamebechere, a cocoa farm has been severely damaged, replaced by open mining pits and stagnant water. Farmers there report that galamsey has ravaged their farms and contaminated local water sources, leaving them in hardship. So that's basically the story.
Yeah, and it goes on to quote some miners there who said that they are engaging in same as a result of lack of job opportunities.
Yes, so that's another story there on that issue. There's a big education situation. Over 440,000 students to be placed automatically as the 2024 senior high school opens. I'll read that and then give me the Minister of Education story. So the ministry has officially released the 2024-25 results for students entering senior high school and technical and vocational schools. This allows thousands of students to check their school placements and secure admissions for the upcoming academic year. Now, according to the statement by the Ministry of Education, the 563,000 results received from WAEC, a total of 553 qualified, 553,339, 553,115 qualified. Out of these, 447,698 making up 80% of the qualified group were automatically placed. So there's another 20% who are waiting for placement. And then for those checking their placement status, the ministry provided a step-by-step process where qualified students can visit. So you go to www.cssps.gov.gh for more information.
Right. Now, on the Chronicle newspaper, page number 3, 81 modern school blocks ready. Aduchum tells the clergy in Kumasi. Story by Max Olofori. Minister for Education, Dr. Yawase Aduchum, has disclosed that 81 new classrooms are going to be inaugurated across the country in the next 2 weeks. According to him, the move forms part of the government's pragmatic policies to change the face of education in the country. Now, the minister announced this in Kumasi on Monday, October 28, 2024, at a forum with the clergy. Now, the intervention, as part of his speech, the minister showcased several modern classrooms built across the country to replace outmoded ones that are not fit for purpose, adding that is to alleviate the challenges that people are facing with respect to infrastructure.
Okay, but the angle the Daily Guide takes is Ashanti clergy embraces education reform. Quickly, the first paragraph says members of the clergy in the Ashanti region have praised ongoing educational reform and promised to fully back the government's initiatives to transform the educational sector. But we can always go to some other stories.
All right.
For this
Can you give me the Boku story? The government has imposed a curfew on Boku.
The Anchor newspaper has that story on its front page. The details on page 3 of the newspaper. The Ministry of Interior has imposed a dusk to dawn curfew on Boku following renewed conflict in the town. Now, this is contained in a press release dated 28th of October 2024 by the Deputy Minister, Nana Iya. Now, the Ministry of the Interior has imposed a dusk to dawn curfew. No, I think they are
So
repeating
a
the
dusk to
paragraph.
dawn, just clarify for me, that means that you are not supposed to go out from evening.
Yeah,
So dusk to dawn. So after 6 p.m.
Yes, you
so you
can't
only
go out.
you only do your activities from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Yes, yes.
As against dawn to dusk.
That's right.
Okay. Now on this curfew situation, the NDC flag bearer has been commenting. He calls for restraint amid clashes in Boku. That's on citynews.com. And the story says that NDC flag bearer John Madramani Mahama has expressed serious concern over the disruption of peace during the MPP administration, particularly in light of the renewed chieftaincy class in Boku. The long-standing conflict flared up again following the return of the rival chief Alhaji Seidu Abagre from exile, resulting in the loss of at least 2 lives and several injuries. Speaking in Saboba on Monday, as part of his Northern Regional campaign, Mahama urged all factions involved to exercise restraint and avoid any form of violent provocation.
Let's stay with the presidential candidates, because if you go to the Daily Guide, there's a story on page 6 of the paper. Oti Chiefs declare support for Baumia. The story is by Charles Tichi Boidu, and it says that Paramount Chief of Ampeyo traditional area of the Oti region, Nana or therefore Frimpong Wari II, has assured the New Patriotic Party of his support in the upcoming general election. Now, this was after he apologized to the government for not voting for the MPP in the 2020 general election, especially for not being able to give them even a single parliamentary seat. Now, the chief disclosed this during Vice President Dr. Baumia's visit to the area as part of his December 7 electioneering campaign. I don't know why chiefs are still doing this. You have been told that stop engaging in partisan, partisan politics.
No, they get excited when the candidates come.
But it's wrong.
They'll say, Mommy Mike, let me fire. So I think that's what's happening. Now, still on the elections, there are a few stories here. The US is announcing that it will impose what do you call it?
Visa restrictions.
Visa ban on individuals undermining Ghana's democracy. Story by William Now on Channel 1 News. The United States has introduced a new visa restriction policy aimed at protecting democratic processes in Ghana ahead of the country's December 7 poll. This policy, announced by the U.S. Department of State, will impose visa restrictions on individuals found responsible for actions undermining Ghana's democracy. This restriction specifically targets those who engage in or are complicit in actions that disrupt democratic processes, such as manipulating or rigging the electoral process, using violence to intimidate or prevent individuals from exercising their rights, or attempting to sway the election outcome through coercive means. The restrictions may also extend to close family members of those found culpable. This policy underscores the U.S.'s commitment to supporting Ghana's democratic legacy, noting that the country has achieved 3 decades of democratic elections with peaceful transfer of power between parties. By implementing this policy, the U.S. emphasizes its dedication to supporting the aspirations of Ghanaians for a peaceful, transparent, and credible election.
Talking about violence and undermining our democracy, if you go to page 5 of the Daily Post, there's a story there. None of my supporters fired a gun at the Agona West rally. Cynthia Morrison is quoted here. Now, Cynthia Morrison, the Member of Parliament for the Agona West constituency, has refuted any involvement of supporters in a gun fight incident that erupted during a campaign rally in Agona West on Saturday, October 27, 2024. Now, in an interview with City News' Central Regional Correspondent Calvis Tete, the Agona West Member of Parliament stressed that her supporters were not responsible for the gunfire that injured one person and sparked widespread panic at the event. So the US people should keep an eye on the situation.
So Ayoko Botre is assuring that she's committed to making the Commonwealth relevant to its people. Shirley Ayoko Botre, the newly elected Secretary General of the Commonwealth, has expressed her unwavering commitment to advancing the organization's goals, vowing to devote herself fully to promoting the values and objectives of the Commonwealth community. Addressing an enthusiastic crowd gathered at the Kotoka International Airport on Monday, October 28, Ayoko Botre shared her pride in the role and the immense responsibility that comes with it, describing her election as both a profound honor and a humbling experience. Congratulations to her.
Let's take you to the economy. Congratulations to her. But the economy is not looking good. Although they say it's looking good, the city is misbehaving.
What's happening?
Now, if you go to the BNFC, government expects CD to withstand seasonal demand surge. You know, December is coming and people are importing a lot of things. Now, Joshua Wolasi Amlanu reporting for the BNFT this morning says government has expressed confidence in the city's ability to withstand increased forex demand, particularly as the holiday season approaches. Now, Finance Minister Dr. Mohamed Abid Adam expressed confidence during a media briefing in Washington, D.C., USA, noting recent efforts to bolster the nation's foreign currency reserves and secure international financial support to ease pressure on the cedi. There's a quote here: "We've seen relative stability in the cedi over the last month," Dr. Adam stated, adding that government is determined to continue stabilizing the cedi. He acknowledged that as year-end approaches, demand for foreign currency typically rises, driven by increased import and business activity.
A few issues from Parliament. Speaker Bagbin has filed an application asking the Supreme Court to overturn his decision, which put a hold on the Speaker's ruling declaring 4 seats in Parliament vacant. Again, the Speaker is further seeking an order from the court, setting aside the writ filed by Majority Leader Alpenyo Marking, who sought to prevent the Speaker from making any ruling on the 4 seats. In the application filed at the Apex Court by his lawyer, Thaddeus Sori, the Speaker contends that the Supreme Court misapply the law by staying the execution of his ruling because it was a non-judicial decision. Bernard,
there's an interesting opinion piece here by Clement Ekapam, page 10 of Daybreak. Revocation of LI on mining in forest reserves. What is the role of Parliament? He concludes that the authority to revoke LI 2462 governing the conduct of mining in Ghana lies with the Minister of Environment, Science and Technology and Innovation. A simple procedure of notifying Parliament through a statement on the floor of the House should be enough to revoke the LI. Any fanciful procedural niceties of laying a revocation LI will lead to absurdities.
Let's end with football. And Real Madrid absent from the Ballon d'Or. They said they've not been respected. Real Madrid were named the club of the year, but were absent from Monday's Ballon d'Or ceremony in Paris, where forward Vinicius Jr. was beaten to the award for the best men's football player by Manchester City's Rodri. So the European champions said its representatives would not go where it was not respected after learning Vinicius would miss out on the prestigious trophy, according to reports from the news agency AFP and Spanish media. Real Madrid manager Carlo Ancelotti and forward Kylian Mbappe both won individual honors, but neither of them was present to receive their award. And Rodri, a 28-year-old Spanish international playing for Man City, won the Ballon d'Or ahead of Vinicius and Real Madrid teammate.
Does he deserve it?
I think it does. I think it does. But I also think that they didn't give it to Vinicius because of the controversy. You know, Vinicius comes with a lot of... You know, he's been subject to racist attacks.
Yeah, but that's...
And I think they felt like if he won it politically, he would use it to do too many things. Because a lot of times when he's racially abused, he walks off. He's taking a stance against racism.
Yeah, which is
so
good.
They don't want to... this is my personal view. I think they don't want to create... They don't want to give the Ballon d'Or to somebody who can politicize it.
No, then
they themselves. I don't agree with them. But it's a political organization. Yeah. So Rodri is a less contentious choice because he's not going to take a stand.
But that feed into the narrative that you are against we the people of this country.
I agree with that because
completely unacceptable.
Vinicius, in my view, has been the most thrilling player in the past year. But you can't argue with Rodri too because he's won everything.
Because of the Europe and then also the league and all of that.
But we read between the lines. Anyway, Charlie, we'll leave it here. Thank you, Sky, and thank you, Caleb.
Yes.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Oh, jump on now.
Go. Google me. At what time when you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car?
No, I not change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind, Seth, be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium, they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open them.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, then make a finish my go be fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my go be inside?
I give you info. Make I feel the go be too small.
Go.
Yo, Pana. Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Charlie, today the matter will catch me. I received urgent order from my online store. Customer wants 10 pieces sharp. But my wahala be delivery. Stress so me too. I no get order in weeks. So then I make slow. Charlie, I decide to deliver this thing myself. Quiet. I was willing to trust my small tired car like that. But boy, I no even leave my area where the whole place full of snow. Engine kaput, Pascal. As the boys they help me push the car off the road, where I look up and raise my head, where I see for Fidelity Bank billboard top. This too just be chapter. Ebefa mpa. Then Norma Vim come. Listen, I dog the sadness and find Okada fast. I deliver all the goods, collected my money, and even got referrals from this customer. Ebefa mpa. At Fidelity Bank, we believe you can achieve your dreams. Believe with us. Ebefa.
Looking for a burst of flavor in every sip? Discover the refreshing taste of Piva beverages. Enjoy the classic Piva Cola flavor, perfect fit anytime. How about a fruity adventure? Try our delightful Piva orange fruit drink packed with recognized citrus flavor. Craving something exotic? Our Piva cocktail fruit drink brings the tropics to you. For a sweet and juicy treat, grab our grapefruit drink and don't miss out on the refreshing Piva Tangerine fruit drink, bursting with tangerine flavor. Piva Cola, Piva Orange, Piva Cocktail, Piva Grape, Piva Tangerine. Grab yours today. Available now at your local store. Call us on 055 00 32231. Piva, a taste you love. This advert is FDA approved.
P for Piva.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Nashika sees us here, Citi Business News. Good morning.
Good morning, Bernard. Hello and welcome to the breakfast edition of the Citi Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN, Goil and Access Bank. My name is Nashika Caesar. Coming up, nationwide power outage to be resolved as government renegotiates deal with independent power producer Sanan Asogli after the power generator shut down over a $259 million debt. Also coming up, economic watchers project surge in interest rate to persist until the disbursement of $360 million relief package from the IMF. And later, Bank of Ghana to introduce a new directive aimed at guiding the outsourcing practices of banks and specialized deposit-taking institutions. Let's settle for the details of our stories now. The government says it has renegotiated a deal with independent power producer Sanan Asogli to stabilize power supply across the country. Sanan Asogli shut down its 560 megawatt plant due to outstanding debt of $259 million owed it by the Electricity Company of Ghana Limited, which resulted in power challenges nationwide. The Finance Minister, Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam, confirmed that the government has signed a new agreement with the company to restore operations and address the power supply issues.
we continue to produce power. I was informed only yesterday that they are ready to sign the settlement agreement. And so we've instructed ECG to go ahead and sign. That should help in normalizing our relationship so we can move on. And so by signing that agreement will also mean that the third IPP is also done as far as the restructuring.
That was the Finance Minister, Dr. Mohammed Amin Adam, speaking there. Meanwhile, the independent power producers have rejected claims of bad faith from the government regarding the shutdown, citing high operational cost and a lack of working capital. Dr. Eliklim Apetogbo, the CEO of the Independent Power Generated, provided these insights.
I'm not aware when we have agreed to sign restructuring terms with anyone. We are still negotiating. No one goes into a negotiation to lose. It is always a win-win affair. And he has always maintained a position that if you will not accept this, I'm not going to pay you an agreement with Asogli. And even if we are signing, that what it means is that we have reached a meeting point. But to the best of my knowledge, there is nothing like that. We are not there yet. We have mentioned our challenge. He has promised on countless times to make payment to Sonon Asogli, but has not honored those obligations or those promises. But today he's saying that somebody is acting in bad faith. What is worse than that? You are owing me about 259 million. Give me 60 million out of that for us to negotiate about the 2 million. And you are saying this is a bad faith. We are faced with a challenge. We lack the working capital to resume operation or to continue operation.
You heard there the CEO of the Independent Power Generators, Dr. Eliklim Apetogbo, speaking there. Now, the Bank of Ghana BOG is set to introduce a new directive aimed at guiding the outsourcing practices of banks and specialized deposit-taking institutions, SDIs, in the country. This comes as the financial sector increasingly relies on outsourcing to cut costs and enhance operational efficiency. Citi Business News' Daniel Sakite has more in the following report.
The outsourcing directive is intended to set clear regulatory expectations and strengthen the management of outsourced functions within the banking sector. This move aligns with Section 60 of Act 930, which mandates that no bank or specialized deposit-taking institution should outsource a function without first securing written approval from the Bank of Ghana. The directive, when implemented, will help ensure that outsourcing practices are carried out responsibly and securely, with a focus on protecting the interests of stakeholders and maintaining the stability of the financial system. The directive, disclosed in the Bank of Ghana's 2023 Financial Stability Review, is currently in its final stages and is expected to be rolled out soon. In addition, the Bank of Ghana is developing a directive to help the industry manage interest rate risks in its books. The central bank's new directive aims to guide banks in managing interest rate risks more effectively, thereby safeguarding the industry from adverse financial outcomes. These regulatory measures highlight the BOG's proactive stance in promoting a more resilient financial sector and protecting stakeholder interests.
That was Citi Business News' Daniel Sakite with that report. Moving on, economic watchers are projecting the surge in interest rates to persist for a while until the disbursement of the $360 million from the IMF. This comes as rising yields appear to have been driven demand for the government's short-term debt instruments, with rates ticking upward across all maturities. The yield on the 91-day bill went up by 25 basis points to 26.19%. And the 182-day bill was at 27.2% as against 27% recorded in the previous week. In an interview with Citi Business News, Wilson Zilavo, investment analyst with DataBank, said the current increases emanate from high money demand on the market amid constrained liquidity.
With the increases in yields, it's largely due to high money demand against constrained liquidity on the market. If you look at the BOG auctions, realize that last 2 weeks, the BOG was able to mop up some 5.6 billion. This week, it has done some 6.5 billion thereabout. So you realize that before the T-bill auction on Friday, there's some kind of limited liquidity on the market. And obviously, with constrained liquidity against high demand, you'd see yields or the nominal yield sort of increasing. However, when the 360 million from the IMF is disbursed, it should sort of ease the pressure on the market a little bit and also contribute to further yield compression in the short term. However, if high domestic demand still persists, there's a likelihood that after a short compression, it might pick up again.
Wilson Zilevu is investment analyst with Data Bank. Now, Total Energy's marketing managing director, Olufemi Babajibe, has reaffirmed the company's commitment to driving economic growth in Ghana through job creation and job youth empowerment initiatives. Speaking at the 2024 Total Start-Upper Challenge in Accra, Babajibe highlighted the company's focus on fostering innovation and entrepreneurship among young Ghanaians. He emphasized that Total Energies will continue to invest in the Start-Upper Challenge to support emerging entrepreneurs and fuel economic development across Ghana.
In Ghana specifically, the Start-Upper of the Year Challenge has made a profound impact over the years. We have seen innovative projects emerge, addressing critical issues in various sectors. From the healthcare to agriculture to technology, these initiatives have not only created jobs and economic opportunities, but have also contributed significantly to Ghana's development agenda. Indeed, since the first challenge was launched in Ghana in 2015 to date, Total Energies Ghana has supported 9 winners of the challenges and have disbursed over 500,000 Ghana cedis to the winners. We have also granted them coaching and mentorship. These startups have gone on to impact on the Ghanaian ecosystem in tremendous ways. We are proud also to inform you that we are the first oil marketing company in Ghana to have pioneered such an innovative project. In the midst of all this, it's a pleasure that Start-Upper of the Year Challenge by Total Energies is also encouraging innovation among youth and startups, a core aspect for business growth.
That was the Managing Director of Total Energies, Olufemi Babajibe, speaking there. Now let's have a quick market check on the currency board across some forex bureaus. The dollar could be sold to you at 16 cedis 70 pesos. The British pound could be sold to you at 21 cedis 70 pesos, and the euro at 17 cedis 40 pesos. And that's all for the breakfast edition of the City Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN, Goil and Access Bank. My name is Nashika Caesar. Many thanks for your company. Do have a great business day.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
We understand the excitement and preparations that comes when your child gains admission into senior high school. But we at the Agricultural Development Bank, ADB PLC, also understand the financial burden this comes with. The chop box, trunk, school mattress, you name it. That's why we have partnered with Prospectus Ghana Limited to offer financial support for parents by introducing the ADB Quick Purchase. With a smart loan of up to 20,000 Ghana cedis, you can pick up all the items on your child's prospectus for school. ADB PLC offers you a repayment plan of 12 months to relieve you of all that heavy financial burden. Every ADB customer who receives their salaries through the bank, military and police personnel, and all other workers on the Controller and Accountant General's payroll qualify for this facility. Walk into any ADB branch nationwide or any Prospectus Ghana Limited office near you to apply for the ADB Quick Purchase. Terms and conditions apply. ADB, the People's Bank. ADB, truly a Greek and more.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Oh my, this lights is on a bit.
Guinea, ice. 7:13, still listening to the Citi Breakfast Show, live on your dial 97.3 FM.
Just gone by was the City Business News, brought to you by Goyle. Goyle is bringing you Super XP, the ideal choice for most vehicles, and it's flowing in many Goyle stations in the country. Goyle Super XP is quality and gives you the correct choice when buying regular fuel. So as you go on the road, look out for Goyle stations with the Super XP sign. Go fuel up your vehicle. Goyle Super XP, we filia, ube fili. Goyle, good energy. Yeah, Goyle. And Kickoff is coming up next. The latest from the world of sport. It's been a very interesting 24 hours or so. Eric Ten Hag out of a job. Rodri winning Ballon d'Or. The controversy and everything. All of that and more with Gabi Ofe. But Kickoff is proudly brought to us by Zonda Ghana. And in a world where dreams are the driving force, one company stands out as the hope of transformation. Zonda Ghana Limited is where you can get all your TX trucks, power pickups, Shantui bulldozers, excavators, graders, the whole shebang. And they are all made and assembled right here in Ghana. Visit any of their 7 branches. Also go to their head office off the Temaplau Road, close to the Free Zones Enclave. Or you can call 0501 77 3333. Zonda Ghana, built in Ghana, building Ghana. 7:15 on the dot. Let's get into Kickoff, the latest from the world of sport. Gabi Ofe is in the building.
Hello everyone, welcome to Kickoff. My name is Gabi Ofe, and in the headlines this morning.
Everyone, let's hear George
The
Weah.
2024 Ballon d'Or French football winner is Rodrigue.
All right, and so Manchester City and Spain midfielder Rodrigue winning the men's Ballon d'Or, awarded the best footballer of the year for the first time. We'll run you through the rest of the awardees. Last night's ceremony, plus some more reactions from Eric Ten Hag's sacking, and then Ghana's under-20 step-up preparations for the clash against Nigeria later tomorrow. All right, many thanks for choosing CT 97.3. Let's start off with this, where Black Satellite assistant coach Fatal Salifu maintains that the team is not feeling any pressure at the ongoing WAFU Zone B qualifiers, despite recent struggles faced by the senior national team, that's the Black Stars, where the Satellites have booked their place in next year's Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations, marking their first qualification since winning the championship back in 2021 under former coach Abdul Karim Zito. Well, up next is against Nigeria in the final of the WAFU Zone B Championship later tomorrow.
Definitely say that we're feeling very great because we know how challenging it is currently in our football. We know the situation with our Black Stars, of course, so we just wanted to also prove a point that there's still hope. So after doing that yesterday, I think that we're feeling very, very great. Well, it's not pressure. I think that it is something we have to all, be determined to do. After, giving this particular role to play, of course, we know the number of, let me say, the population in Ghana, and we know the love people of Ghana have for football. So knowing that, of course, we believe that we needed to just prove that we're the best to deliver. So, of course, it's not just pressure, but we want to at least prove a point that we deserve to be given this role.
Black Satellite assistant coach Fatal Salifu speaking there. We're still with him, and he was part of Abdul Karim Zito's technical team during the 2021 triumph, the AFCON campaign, of course, in Mauritania, and he expressed hope that he's hoping that his experience will come to fruition for the current head coach, Desmond Ofe.
Feels nice, it's extraordinary, it's fascinating as well. It feels good. Yeah.
How did you hear that?
Okay, so
I happen to be part of the technical team that won in 2021 with Abdul Karim Zito. And of course, I know how it it looks like when it comes to the AFCON. I think playing in the All-African Games, that was a bit info about AFCON. And for me, what I know is WAFU normally looks very difficult than the AFCON itself, because countries from this West African teams is very, very difficult. So going through this WAFU, I believe very well that when we prepare well, we'll be able to go to AFCON and deliver. Let me say that our technical team is full of experience, people who are determined. Everybody in the technical team wants to deliver. So, and it happened that we have a boss that is a listener. Of course, Coach Desmond Fell, he listens so well to most of us on the technical bench, and I think that helps all of us to deliver in this competition.
All right, so that's a Black Satellite assistant coach Fatal Salifu. They are in action later tomorrow against Nigeria in the WAFU Zone B Championship happening all the way in Togo. Well, we take it to Zambia because the Zambian football is in mourning after 7 players from Shivama Town Council FC were killed in a bus crash. Now, the country's football association expressed its deep shock at the accident, which occurred on Saturday while the squad was traveling to a third-tier league game in the northwest of the country. Well, CAF President Dr. Patrice Motsepe has conveyed his and CAF's deepest condolences to the families of the 7 players, the Football Association of Zambia, that's President Andrew Kamanga, and the people of Zambia. We do some rugby news, and Rugby League Federation Ghana wrapped up the celebrated 2024 Ghana Rugby League 9s tournament hosted every Sunday in October at the University of Ghana Rugby Field. This year's tournament brought thrilling action, emerging talent, and in a unique focus on community health that unified fans and players alike. In the youth division, the tournament showcased emerging talent and promising young players. Accra Panthers youth team in their first Rugby League 9's appearance dominated the field with a 12-0 win over Accra Majestics in the final. But here from one of the youngest rugby players, Asei Akuklu, who represented Nungwa Tigers on her journey.
Feels nice, it's extraordinary, it's fascinating as well. It feels good. Yeah.
But how did you hear of rugby?
Okay, so in 2019, my dad introduced me to rugby right here at Legon. Yeah, then I started playing. That time I was around 9. So I started at 9. And this is how fight has got me.
So you've been playing rugby since you were 9?
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, so that's Asei Akuklu. She plays for Nungwa Tigers, sharing a journey with my colleague Said Yedi. Away from that to Europe, and Manchester City and Spain midfielder Rodri has won the men's Ballon d'Or, awarded to the best football of the year for the first time. And a 28-year-old who lost just 1 game last season for club and country was awarded the prize in Paris after helping Spain win the Euro 2024 in July. And he also won the Premier League, the UEFA Super Cup, and the Club World Cup with Manchester City. And Rodri is the first player in the club's history to win the Ballon d'Or, claimed the award ahead of Madrid and Brazil winger Vinicius Junior. Let's hear from the Spaniard after the award.
Incredible night for me today. If you let me, I would like to speak in my language, in Spanish, of my country. Buenas noches a todos. Merci.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you all. I have a lot of people to thank, obviously. First of all, I want to thank the UEFA and France Football for this prize and for inviting me 1 year or more. I want to thank all the people that voted for me. It's a very special day for me, but also for my family, for my country as well. I want to thank my wife, which is the person more important in my life.
All right, so that's Manchester City and Spain midfielder Rodri speaking there. On the African side of things, Nigeria's Ademola Lookman played 14th in the final rankings for the 2024 Ballon d'Or, and he was part of the 30 players shortlisted for the prestigious award. Here's the Atlanta Nigerian forward Ademola Lookman.
Yeah, no, it's very special for me to be here tonight.
a big achievement for my country, for my club, for everybody involved, my family. So special night. I'm very happy. Yeah.
All right, so that's Nigerian forward Ademola Lookman, plays his club football for Atalanta in the Italian Serie A. Well, Harry Kane and Kylian Mbappe shared the Gerd Müller Trophy, the award for the best goal scorer after both scoring 52 goals in all competitions last season. The Copa Trophy went to Lamine Yamal of Barca and Spain. He made 50 appearances for Barcelona last season, scoring 7 goals and 7 assists. Aston Villa and Argentina goalkeeper Emiliano Martinez won the Yashin Trophy, the award for the best goalkeeper for the second year running. Madrid boss Carlo Ancelotti won the Johan Cruyff Trophy as men's coach of the year, while former Chelsea coach Emma Hayes collected the women's version, having led the USA to Olympic gold in the summer. But for Madrid, their champions, that's our European champion, said its representatives will not go to the Ballon d'Or after learning Vinicius Jr. would miss out on the prestigious trophy, according to several reports prior to the ceremony last night. Well, some Carabao Cup matches coming up later today. Southampton take on Stoke at 7:45 p.m. Brentford will play Sheffield Wednesday, and that Carabao Cup matches. And for United, they've approached Sporting over appointing head coach Ruben Amorim as their new boss. Talks are thought to be ongoing over making the 39-year-old Erik ten Hag successor after the Dutchman was sacked yesterday. But former Manchester United defender Gary Neville says he shared his thoughts on Ruud van Nistelrooy put in charge in the interim.
I mean, it'd be almost impossible, wouldn't it, for him to do that in the next few days. I can't think that he's going to have. I mean, what's he going to be able to do? I mean, he can set the team up. He can set the team up differently. I mean, that's something that could happen. He could make the makeup of the team slightly different. But I mean, he's been on the bench with Erik ten Hag, so I'd be amazed if there was something drastic happened in the next few days in the games that he's got to manage. I think that ultimately there needs to be quite a lot of work done with those players, because at this moment in time they're desperately struggling. And, you know, Erik ten Hag's not been able to get a consistent level of performance out of them. And a lot of those players now are his players. You know, he was backed in the summer. And that ultimately, and I think, is a big factor in this. So, you know, Ruud van Nistelrooy will do his very best. I have thought for a number of months that looking at the players that United have, they may be better suited to going 3 at the back.
All right, so that's a former Manchester United defender, Gary Neville, speaking on United's next box. That's the sports. For more, you can head to citysportsonline.com and on X at City Sports JHO. Back later at 5 p.m. with Sport Flash on the Traffic Avenue. Kickoff is proudly brought to you by Shell, Le Shell, Zonda JH, and Polytangana, Papa. And yeah, my name is Gabby Ofer. Enjoy the rest of your day. Do take care and bye-bye.
Hey, well, yo, I did tire for Abu Chef. See, everything I do, Abu won't do some. Last year, I bought a cattle farm in Yanton. I see he go buy a farm next to mine. I marry Fauzia. No, he marries Fauzia's sister. I buy my motorbike. I see, no, he go buy motorbike too.
Hey, but you don't see, since you buy your bike, he has bought 4 motorbikes, which have all broken down. You know they maintain bikes at all.
His problem be say he dey put wrong lubricant for his bike inside. The correct motorbike oil where if you put inside be Shell Advanced Lubricant. Shell Advanced Lubricant be the only motorbike oil where they make them for motorbike to protect engine, clutch and brake. Where you no. Wait me, wallahi, I no go tell him. Shell. Hey, well, hey, where you dey go?
If you don't go tell Abu, me I dey go tell him say make you use Shell Advanced Lubricant for him bike.
Hey.
Visit any Shell station or distributor today to get your Shell Advanced Lubricant for your motorbike. Shell Advance, complete protection for your bike.
Guys, Charlie, you know that mining contract I've been chasing for years now? I just got awarded the deal. But the issue is where to get the right and quality heavy-duty trucks to execute this job here in Ghana.
Relax, my guy. Remember my recent construction deal at Pokwase? Zonda sorted me out.
Zonda? What? Who is that?
Zonda Tech Ghana Limited is your one-stop shop for machinery, heavy and light-duty trucks, and pickups. They have the Shantui bulldozers, graders, payloaders, rollers, poor pickups, 4 land light trucks, TX trucks, and oil tanks. Made and assembled right here in Ghana with top-notch after-sales service and standard prices.
Made in Ghana. This is amazing.
You haven't seen my Zonda Power pickup, which I take to the office? Strong, durable, and tough on our roads.
Hey, that's from Zonda too?
Absolutely. Zonda is the right place for you, my guy.
Oh, now I am sorted with Zonda. Zonda Tech Ghana Limited, your solution for heavy and light-duty trucks. Located at Tema, off the Flower Road. Call 0501 772 222 or 0501 773 333. Zonda, built in Ghana, building Ghana.
In a world where only the best survives, you need a fuel that can match your drive. A fuel with unparalleled protection for your engine, superior efficiency, and unrivaled performance. A fuel so unbeatable, when you get behind the wheel, you'll focus on what really matters. The journey ahead. That fuel is Shell V-Power, because no other fuel gives your engine better protection, better efficiency, and better performance. Be unbeatable. Drive unbeatable. Shell V-Power. Shell, go well.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
Sankofa pepper powder, Sankofa, Sankofa, Sankofa pepper powder, Sankofa, Sankofa, Sankofa pepper powder. ATN hawo, go better than your portfolio. Sankofa got you covered. Go for Sankofa pepper powder. Sankofa, Sankofa, Sankofa pepper powder. Abuna bunu abonje krakra. Sankofa pepper powder. Red and hot, very natural. Sankofa pepper powder. Chinchinga and Nambia. Sankofa pepper powder. Noodles, Ghana jollo. Sankofa pepper powder. Eshishi anete. Sankofa pepper powder. Sankofa, Sankofa, Sankofa pepper powder. Sankofa, Sankofa pepper powder. Sankofa pepper powder.
Join the Republic Verse. Enter the Republic Bank space. Online or within the banking hall, we open the right doors for you to make the most of life. With our suite of superb banking products and services, our clients, corporate, SME, investments, and individuals get to enjoy amazing benefits. Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
We're the one for you.
Efia, I've been thinking, have you noticed the changes in our community?
Kajo, things are really different now. The MPP has really made a difference.
Exactly. Free SHS, healthcare, new factories. It's like a whole new Ghana.
And don't forget, electricity is so much reliable now. I remember when we used to go days without light.
True. The NPP has done a lot to improve the basics.
Ajua is a beneficiary of free SHS. And now, she is in university.
And that's the kind of leadership we need. Someone who is focused on making things better for everyone. But Efia, still there are a lot more to be done for the development of Ghana.
Absolutely, Kweju. The NPP has shown that real progress is possible.
On December 7th, let's vote to keep this positive impact going. Vote number 1 on the ballot. Vote NPP for a better and prosperous Ghana.
Put your phones in the air. Wave your awesome cameras. Why the party day? You boss like Samsung Galaxy. Get out the way, get out the way. Make way for the boss. Get out the way, You need long-lasting battery life for the spot. Take a picture, my sister. Boss. Choose a phone like a boss. Show me your Samsung Galaxy. Wait till this morning. Boss. Take a picture, my sister. Boss. Choose a phone like a boss. Show me your Samsung Galaxy. Then a baby, mommy. Get out the way. Make way for the boss.
Education is the most powerful weapon to change the world. At Heritage Christian University, you're assured of quality education, accredited by GTech and affiliated to KNUST and UCC. We offer programs like Bachelor of Business Administration, Community Development and Theology, Theology and Ministry, Psychology, Nursing, Information Technology, Information Security, and Business Information Technology. Professional programs like ICA, CIMG, CIHRM, ABE. We also offer short courses on media and IT. What makes Heritage stand out is our experience and scholar practitioner faculty, entrepreneurial training with financial support, ultramodern facilities, and hostels. Qualifications for entry is WASI or SSC or GBCE, HND or Diploma Top-Up. Mature 25 years and above. Heritage is located at Amasaman behind the Olympic Stadium. Contact us on 054-777-7731 or 020-229-8399 or www.hcuc.edu.gh.
This ad is not about how convenient or easy to use the Affinity app is, or how accessible and affordable our loans are, or not having to worry about monthly or transaction fees. Yes, banking without fees. This ad is about a community of entrepreneurs, individuals, young people, and you, the go-getter. And Affinity providing the necessary services and tools to help simplify daily banking tasks and grow your business. Easy and accessible. Because banking doesn't have to be an inconvenience. With Affinity, you're in. To get the app and apply for loans, dial *229# or go to affinityghana.com.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Yeah. On him, I travel Nancy. Jimmy, my baby, and how. Minimum to Drassi, Shampabuana, Buibi and cow. Jai Super Pawaniasi, Emma Biasia, dream foul. Branda Bijama Coin, I want a saman crowd. I've been on my dream watch it. My dream watch it. Near weapon in my sadia, minimal crowd was semi ye. Casem Debuguma that will be a young corpe. I've been on Ponsan, Tuntumbro near who offense, them 100 dear pequa, or Batia Brent Jaisun. Pepper when you moon is so, and I be young from so crack, kind who, so what drama go out doors, so my common in table papa move. Family was sunny for so matana via siache, the time who, or door. Midday, or pepper near my pana did. But my wedding, you know, me no people from home, so me puffy say what the road. And the other guy say, me on sense them. I thought there be a baby who have them. Me do we say I'm moving tete and them. So the buy a dinner come. Yeah, you are always on my mind and forever in my heart. Me day, you are always on my mind and forever in my heart. Tietie Profano, I would only be good on a diamond. Never wab of fra, actually didn't cheer while diner. I was in the jaw. It's a son of Mumu and Crana, would need me for saying me. Yadon Yantona China, Yadia Mijao, Minja Joe, Kokosuko Jaws of Brainy, and Rami who were and become a team, Yadia Penny. I dreamed you go to Swaboko, Fabigumi Quenchi, Yabo Chair, I measure what I want to send me saying a Tessie. Mindy Yao, I mean, who would name the Swan, I made Tete.
7:37 Citi Breakfast Show, Tuesday the 29th. Happy joyous birthday, my dearest husband Kamal Mate. Dear Lord, guide him, protect him, grant him the desires of his heart. May he have a blessed birthday and the years ahead be filled with blessings, joy, and love. From Rachel, your wife, and the kids Michelle, Kamal Jr., and Mikhail, to Kamal Mate, or Mate. Glorious birthday to Gloria and Gracia. It's another great day and the Lord has made. As we celebrate your birthday, may the Lord give you speed in life, peace, health, and joy. From Nehemiah. Also wishing Kwame Ejepong, head of FinTech Innovation at the Bank of Ghana, a happy birthday. Sorry, head of FinTech and Innovation. And I don't know him as Kwame Ejepong. Opong, it's just Kwame Opong. Really great guy. This guy, you know, I like his what he does. You know, the Bank of Ghana is a traditional institution with legacy systems, and banking doesn't really necessarily like new things because it's built on predictability and old process. But Kwame is doing well. He's the head of FinTech and Innovation. He's been helping the FinTech sector grow very, very, very well.
Yeah, you know, when this whole thing started, the initial policy response from central banks around the world was to suppress.
Yes.
But they realized that, look, I mean, we can't get stuck in the old ways of doing things, so we need to reform.
Yeah.
So almost all nations are moving in that direction. Then you have cryptocurrency creeping in, and then the issue of blockchain and all of that. Some people are accepting, some people are still resistant. Now we have launched our own ECD, which we are told that people are investing in heavily. So there's new thinking around, and we hope that it will take us to the next level.
So this request is to Kwame Opong, and it's coming from George of Access Bank and his wife Stara of Ghana Exim Bank to Kwame Opong. I want to add my voice to that request. Happy birthday, Kwame Opong. Live long, prosper. Bernard, today is my son's birthday. Isaac Osewusu Brempong of Bing. He's 10 years old. Kindly wish him a happy birthday with love from his parents and siblings. And happy belated birthday to Afel Money, former GJA president. Yes, a big man at the Assemblies of God at Denta branch. Dr. Afel Money, the man with words. Alright, so a number of things will influence this election, or there are many themes for the election, right? So it depends on how you look at it. Security is a big theme for the election. If you look at what we've been talking about yesterday, the Boku issue, and some of the comments around the sub-region, and the need for Ghana as a bastion on peace and stability. So if you look at the themes we'll look at, peace and security is a big theme. Economy is a big theme for the election. Because Sky read a story this morning about the Ghana CD and potential pressures on it. A lot of the surveys have said election is the main, economy is the main issue that will influence their voting. Then there's also education, where you're seeing all these arguments over, did government finish the e-blocks? Did they abandon the e-blocks? Today the front page is saying Ashanti have accepted MPP's education policy. Education is a big issue. The two running mates are both education background, if you like. Education minister under the first term of Akufo-Addo, education minister under Mahama as well. So education is also a sub-theme there. All right. Then, of course, there's other issues. But so it's education, economy, and security. I'm not saying they're going to influence the votes, but they're like the key issues around the election. So, for example, the Boku curfew. We heard Klesa Avoka say that a curfew in Boku doesn't help because people are going to vote. It's going to affect rallies and things. So there's a security issue there. But I think in the past few days, the security issue has heightened. The story by Reuters about Ghana and terrorists, the Boku escalation of violence, and then the US issuing, and this is quite interesting, this is not from the embassy, this is from the State Department. So for those who don't know, US State Department is their foreign ministry. All right, so U.S. Foreign Ministry issues a statement, and we're going to read that statement for you. It's okay. Let me put it this way: it's a kind of statement you hear around African elections very often. But Ghana, I'm not sure if
we've heard this before.
I think we probably have.
The last election? No, we said this in Nigeria, but not here.
Not in Ghana, right?
Not that I recall.
We will deal with that. Are you sure we've not heard something like this?
The last election? I don't recall.
All right. So we'll read a statement for you. But it looks like security has become another key issue in the election for Ghana. We'll deal with that shortly. And then while all of that is going on, the sudden death, I think that's fair to say, of Madame Ekuya Donko. She's a 3-time flag bearer, right? This is her 3rd attempt on the ballot. She's number 3. And this morning, her son confirmed to us on the Citi Breakfast News that she had passed away. I think it was last night or early today. Yesterday.
Condolences to the family.
Yeah. Yep. And so beyond the loss of a public figure, where that leaves the election, what does the law say? Do they have to go back to any process? Because ballot papers have been printed. She's on the ballot. She's number 3. She's not going to be there. And you can't leave her there because, I don't know. So we'll see. We'll deal with all of that shortly. And if you're a parent as well, not sure how you're going to manage the reopening, over 440,000 SHS entrants have been placed by the CSSPS. We'll make some time for that later in the day. Another 100 and something thousand are yet to be placed. All right. How will they get to secondary school? And this has become very serious because reopening is this week. Today is Tuesday. They're supposed to go to school before Friday. All right. So this CSSPS system is pretty stressful. And now you have less than a week to get your kids to school.
Honestly, I'm confused though.
Why are you confused?
Look, I have this boy. He plays.
One of your academy boys.
Yeah. Like, this boy just finished DHS. I met him last week. Says he's finished SHS.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? Like, or is it that we didn't calculate it well? Like, because our 3 years, was it that short?
But 3 years is 2021.
No, I'm saying our 3 years. Yeah, was it that short?
If he finished BC in 2021, he's finished this by now.
He just finished BC, Aloski.
He'll be in university soon. So you think there's okay? I think I know where you're going. You're talking about whether the length of time.
I don't know. Anyway,
3 years is 3 years. All right, so we are moving on many fronts this morning. Before I get into the US statement and also ask what Ikuya Donkos debt means for the election, to all female entrepreneurs, agribusiness owners, and young entrepreneurs out there, we see you. We understand the challenges you face. Your story matters, and we are here to support you every step of the way. So in partnership with the MasterCard Foundation, ABSA is offering SME loans at a 10% interest rate per annum. You can get up to 1 million cedis completely collateral free. We've already disbursed this over 600 million cedis, supporting over 1,600 businesses within the past year, and we're especially proud that 67% of our beneficiaries are women-owned businesses. If you are ready to write your next chapter of the success story, visit our SME project office or your nearest ABSA branch, or go to absa.com.gh. Your story matters with ABSA.
Now, if you're looking for an easy way to manage your business finances, Build Financial Technologies is a trusted platform for businesses across Africa. Effortlessly handle invoicing, payments, and payroll with secure advanced encryption. Save time, reduce costs, and enjoy live support with local integration. Visit www.build.africa. Download our app or call 0308040007 today. Build, do more with less stress. And did you know that your energy giving, great tasting Lucozade has a new look? Whether you're out and about, wherever you are, grab the now sleeker, slimmer Lucozade Original 330 ml can with the same energy that you've known for years. So go ahead and grab that sleek looking Lucozade and restore your energy. Lucozade, restore your energy. There's an advert that's FDA approved.
Now let's talk about the Affinity app. It's super easy to use and they've got loans that are accessible and affordable. But here's the real magic. No monthly fees, no transaction fees, zero fees. Imagine banking when you don't have to keep an eye on those extra charges sneaking in. If it's something you want to be part of, dial *229# to get the app, or check out affinityghana.com. With Affinity, you're not just banking, you're in. Imagine the unexpected happening to you and you're leaving behind your loved ones, your spouse and family and friends, people that you love the most. SNIT is here to protect them. If you're a contributor to the scheme, SNIT has an inbuilt life policy that pays your loved ones a lump sum when you are no more. Survivors of SNIT members qualify for survivors benefits. SNIT will deliver on our promise. Call SNIT on 0302-611-622 or get them on social.
All right, if you're ready to make your retirement dream a reality, Lakeside Estate exclusive retirement home is tailored to help you find the perfect sanctuary to enjoy your golden years to the fullest. We have 2, 3, and 4 bedroom homes developed in a serene environment, including sports complex, pharmacy, shopping mall, children play area, etc. And we also have the biggest water park in Ghana. Now, we are your CIMG Real Estate Company of the Year. We want your journey to be secure and your retirement home a home of comfort. So call Lakeside Estates on 050-141-8622 or go to lakesideestates.com for more information. All right. So I would have loved to bring back the interview we had with Ikradonko's son to just confirm the death. We're trying to retrieve that for you. But the news is that the founder and flag bearer of the GFP has died now.
Okay.
What is not clear is what that means for the election. And I'm going to revert to the legal mind to tell us law. So, Sky, what does the law say about this situation as far as the election that is happening? By the way, election is 39 days away, right? Today is 29th. So if you have 30 days in November plus 7, 37, and then we have 2 days left in October. So you have 39 days. So, yeah, roughly 40 days, right? Today is 29, 30th, 31st. So 3 days. So we have 40 days for the election. Let's hear the confirmation of the incident first, and then
tree.
Yeah. So what?
I Enra Bia Humachi be 4 o'clock na ye frɛ abusia ka kyerɛ sɛ babia ye maame akuadonko agina no wonyina yie nti ye bisa no hospital kra ya wo no mo yɛn sɛ wo Rich Hospital wa kra nti ho abobu na ne ye di a ya ye mun sɛ bisa doctor no sɛ ebe kɔsɛ no so say wo ma ye no operation ne adeti omudi emfidie ne enframa ne moja ne nsuasi so enti ye hwɛ akiri kakra na aduru bi a ombetwura ma ye bia ye momodere ne ento ye boy ho modene bia aginai enti free nra ahomache no ade tie ye beda 10 o'clock mu a ena ye sa frɛ back say ye maame akuadonko adan bunkum so odaya wansore na chese akoya reho sempa ama busiana ya yedunwa yedinwa bobo nti sa wote ya ne kure me maame akuadonko wa free mu
na sabi o mhye bisa se o yare che
da bi wanyare anche ya kura ya ante ne yade yesa ya ante ne yade yesa de ti ya ne se wo yare na ho dodo no ama e de ne ko Rich Hospital occupying or Rich Hospital and they say wanyame ansa mana mechiazi or the every meja abusia ono.
Now that's before what is speaking to a son of Ikradonko. So the incident occurred dawn today. They were called to be informed that she had been unwell, sent to the Rich Hospital, and she did not make it. And the question, the point was that he wasn't aware that she was ill for a long time. So this seems pretty sudden.
Yeah, makes you rest in peace.
Now, I don't think we've had this situation before where 40 days to an election, the flag bearer of a major political party or a political party dies. Is there clarity on what we should do, what the country should do?
This Republican Constitution, that's what I remember immediately. I don't think that has happened.
It hasn't happened before.
So it's a very novel
situation.
If my memory serves me correctly. And it appears that this particular era has provided a lot of constitutional issues that would agitate minds. Immediately, if you look at the provisions relating to the election of president, there's no express provision regarding a situation like that. But yes, but if you go to the omnibus provisions that deal with representation of the people, then you have what appears to be an answer to the situation. So if you go to Article 50 of the Constitution, it deals with election of candidates.
All right.
The very relevant one says that it's actually Clause 4.
50 Clause 4?
Yeah. It
says 51-4?
No, 50 Clause 4.
50 Clause 4, okay.
Yes. It says, where at the close of nominations, but before the election of one of the candidates dies. You understand? Where at the close of nominations, but before the election, one of the candidates dies, a further period of 10 days shall be allowed for nominations. And where the death occurs at any time within 25 days before the election, the election in that constituency or unit shall be postponed for 21 days. Now, okay, so on Article 50, Clause 4 of the Constitution 1992, and it says, and I quote, where at the close of nominations, but before the election, one of the candidates dies, a further period of 10 days shall be allowed for nominations. And when the death occurs at any time within 25 days before the election in that constituency or unit shall be postponed for 21 days. Now, I know people will ask the question, well, I mean, this is a presidential election. It may well have nothing to do with this particular provision. But let's remember that Ghana is taking as one constituency, in my respectful view.
For the presidential election.
Yeah, that's right, when you are dealing with presidential elections. And therefore, if we are to look at the purpose for this particular provision, it's possible to argue that since if you deal with the specific provisions on presidential elections, there is no reference to the matter, we can lean on the provisions of Article 50 of the Constitution to cure the mischief there may be, if any.
Can you repeat what you said again?
What I'm saying is that if you look at the election of president, I take you to that provision, which is in so qualifications of president, election of president. So qualification is under Article 62, the side note. If you go to 63, election of president. If you read those provisions, there's nothing on about
a death of a presidential candidate for a national election.
Exactly. The only provision that, to the best of my understanding, deals with the subject matter of the death of a candidate
is the one you read, 50,
exactly,
which in the first reading suggests parliamentary, but upon reflection could be
exactly, because Ghana is to be taken to be one constituency when you're dealing with the presidential elections. You get it?
So they said something about 25 days. They said that if the person dies and the time between the person's death and the election is more than 25 days, the party can nominate another person.
Yes.
But if the person dies within 25 days to an election, then you push the election forward.
Yes.
So now we have 40 days. So
the first requirement is
you are going to give the party 10 days to choose a candidate.
If my understanding of the law presently constituted.
So the GFP must find a way of submitting a name for the EC to replace Ekuya Donkor.
Exactly.
Now, okay, so we don't want to overcomplicate matters. So that's the logical, simple explanation. If they do that successfully, so let's do the first scenario. If they do that successfully, the EC will simply replace her name with the name of the new person.
Yes.
And because they would have done that in 10 days, we still have how many days? 30 days to the election. So they will still fall within the 25. So they'll basically be able to change.
To deal with it, yeah.
Now, what if the party fails to do this?
Well, then he's taking that the candidate has withdrawn from the elections.
That's how it should be taken.
Yeah, that's
because right. your reading is that you cannot leave the candidate
on the ballot
because the person is dead.
Yeah. So if she wins the election, then what happens?
You give it
and
to
I
the
don't
next
think
person.
that the framers
If you win the election, give it to the next person.
Has a running mate?
Yes.
She has a running mate.
She has a running mate. So why doesn't the running mate take over?
Yeah, the Constitution doesn't provide in express terms that. So
the
for
party
instance,
must
if you
decide
deal with
those
a provision on the vice president,
Yeah.
how he ascends to the office of president following the death of the president.
Yeah.
The Constitution is clear in its language that in the absence of the president following death or resignation or whatever sickness, the vice president shall perform the functions of president until after so and so.
But this is a candidate.
In this case, there's no provision like that.
What about the CI? Doesn't the CI say anything about candidate? Because the Constitution is broad. The CI is specific. Doesn't CI have anything to say about what happens to a party's ticket when a candidate dies?
The CI you were talking about, I've forgotten the name.
It's 127.
Also adopts the language of the Constitution as I read to you a short while ago. Article 50.
I actually want to let me read the CI, the relevant portion I have, and then you compare that to what you've had. So this is CI 127, 17.1, death of a candidate. Where an election is to be held and a candidate dies on the eve of the election, and proof of the death of the candidate is given to the returning officer before the commencement of the poll, the returning officer shall put on hold proceedings in relation to the elections to inform the commission. 2. The commission shall, upon receipt of information under the sub-regulation 1, adjourn the poll and allow a period of 10 days for the political party to which the candidate belongs to nominate a new candidate. 3. Where the deceased candidate was an independent candidate for the commission shall not permit the nomination of another person, and proceedings in relation to the election shall continue. 4. Where a new candidate is nominated by a political party, the commission shall adjourn elections in the constituency of the deceased candidate for a period of 21 days for the day of the nomination of the new candidate. So this seems like parliamentary.
That's what I'm saying, that you might be led to come to that conclusion. But if you contextualize it, like I said, Ghana, for purposes of presidential elections, is to be seen to be one constituency. Now, if that interpretation, in my respectful view, holds, then what it means then is that we are to take the whole Ghana as one constituency. And therefore, because Ekuadonko, by reason of his expiry, is no longer validly a candidate in elections, the provision should be invoked to apply.
But why doesn't the CI simply provide that when the candidate dies, replace them with their running mate? Because I thought that was the purpose of asking for a running mate. Do you get the point?
No, I think the general purpose, the Constitution states that there shall be a vice president of the republic.
Which is why you have a running mate.
Exactly.
But why can't I win election and then appoint a vice president when I win?
No, because the Constitution says at the time of filing, you need to file someone.
That's what I'm saying. So let's take your time. I'm saying that if the Constitution was just looking for a vice president, they didn't need to use the election route. If the Constitution's purpose was just looking for a vice president, because you can appoint a vice president.
No, it is only in limited circumstances.
But when Mills died and Mahama became president, he appointed his vice president.
So the Constitution provides.
Listen, hear me out.
Okay.
I'm making a point.
Okay.
I'm saying, and I'm not a lawyer.
Okay.
I'm saying that if the purpose of the running mate requirement was purely for vice president, or if the intention of having a running mate was just to have a vice president to satisfy that there shall be a vice president, I think it's a bit laborious to use an election route. I feel, in addition to the fact that we need a vice president, there should have been, or there ought to have been, a contemplation of the running mate also replacing the candidate in the event of their death. Do you understand me? Because it's a double thing. You want a vice president because when the president dies, somebody will take over. And now, in the process of selecting that president, if the person dies in that process, you don't stop the president because he has a running mate who then takes over automatically. That's what I think. That is a layman's view.
My layman's retort to that would be that the selection of the running mate is a personal choice of the individual who has won an election at the party level. So voted for by the entire recognized electoral college of the party.
Yeah.
So it would be out of place to then grant that person an automatic replacement slot when that person was a personal choice.
Which is heavier.
So the party might not agree.
Let me push back with that. Hold on. Let me push back. Which is more serious? Death of a president or death of candidate? If a president upon his death can be replaced by an unelected vice president.
The vice president, you see, that's where
why can't a death of a presidential candidate be replaced by an unelected?
Hold on. You see, let's
take it one by one. Yes, I'm listening to you.
First of all, the president of the republic is elected on his own steam.
Yes, please.
Right?
Yes.
The vice president is also deemed to be elected on his own steam.
Is the vice president at an election?
Yes. The vice, there are two.
So it's a joint ticket. So the vice president is also elected.
He's also elected.
I get you. So the vice president's ascension is based on an election.
Exactly.
I get you.
And then also, the Constitution provides safeguards for the ascension to occur. You don't just say that because you are vice president, you are president. Exactly.
Good.
There must be a sitting of parliament.
Yeah.
You must swear the oath of office of president of the republic before members of parliament administered by the chief.
I agree with you. So in the same way, this is what my argument is. In the same way, they've chosen, the GFP has chosen Ekuadonko as their candidate.
Okay.
And because she's chosen somebody as her running mate. Okay. So I feel like what should happen is that maybe based on their constitution, her running mate should automatically ascend upon a ratification, based on the point to make up. Yeah. So maybe if they can say that it's not for economy and for time, let the running mate ascend upon a ratification or a resolution by the party. So the party can easily write to EC and say, because of time, we are letting the running mate ascend as the candidate, and this is a resolution from the party executives. Then the EC will basically say, are these signatures valid? Then we do the ratification, and then the party can then nominate another running mate, instead of saying, let's go through a whole process of the party choosing a new person. Because you see, we are talking about printing of ballots. You have 40 days for an election. We already told that some of the printers cannot print. So sometimes you must think about all of those things in making your judgment. So I would have said, interpreting this law, the party should write to the EC to nominate the running mate, so that the running mate's picture can be sent there for the new printing to be done.
Bernard, you see,
whereas then the party can then select a new running mate later on.
Okay, so let me answer the question this way. You see, we had something close to this situation when Professor Mills died. He was validly elected in Sunyani by the delegates of the NDC, except that there was not a filing of nominations.
Yes.
You understand? So the situations are different.
In the 2012 election, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Mills was validly elected in Sunyani against the likes of,
2012.
Funka and that's right. So he was validly elected.
Okay.
It was about 6 months or so to the election. There was not a filing of nominations. So the circumstances are different.
His name hadn't been put there.
Exactly.
Yet. Okay.
What did the NDC do? The NDC simply, of course, there was...
They went to Congress.
Yeah, they
extraordinary Congress.
Yeah, they say, hi, it's Mahama. So they affirmed Mahama as their running mate, as the candidate. In the case of... they can do the same thing. They can go to Circle and stand there and say, as many as are in favor of so and so, who support the man's elevation. Once it is deemed to conform to the rules, then there shouldn't be.
I agree with you, but I'm saying that you see the difference is that Mills died in July 24. Election was in December. Ekriadonko died October 29.
Yes.
Which is 40 days. Now, we don't know how efficient or how functioning GFP as a party is.
That's supposed to be the work of the Electoral Commission.
Very good. Yes. So when we come back, we'll deal with that. What process must GFP kick in to ensure that she can be replaced? Which is why CDD was questioning some of these parties, like one-man party or kind of thing, where you don't even know. So is there even a record of the Congress that selected her? Do we know who the general secretary of the party is? So like this morning, when we wanted information on her death, we spoke to her son. Of course, a family issue. Does the GFP have a national chairman that is known to the public? Do they have a youth organizer? Do they have a constituency organizer in your hometown?
Those records should be at the electoral.
Okay, so let's deal with tech and social media trends and then see if we can get those records. Yeah, so Tech and Social Media Trends is brought to us by...
It's brought to us by First Bank and also Telecel. First Bank says if you're sending money to Gambia, Guinea, Liberia, Nigeria, and Sierra Leone, it's really easy. Through the Pan-African Payment and Settlement System, PAPS, you can send and receive money from these countries for business and personal purposes. All you need to do is to visit any of our branches nationwide with your cash, and your money is transferred in no time. This is how we put you first. For more information on this, call 0596-921-921. First Bank, you first. And get ready for more money and even more winners. The Telecel More Money promo just got extended for 2 extra months. We're giving away more money. So you just have to reload your mobile wallet, keep purchasing data, airtime, reload data onto your fixed broadband to get closer to becoming a millionaire. 4 lucky winners every week go home with 30,000 Ghana cedis. The more you reload, the better your chances. So dial *500# or send WIN to 500 or visit the Telecel Play app to opt in for free. It's a promo that's regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform. Telecel, connecting energies.
All right, so Nathan will tell us what's trending this morning.
Well, let me take off from where you ended. So Ekriadonko is in the trends. Breaking news, she passed on. And so 2 other related themes in terms of the trend. Ghana Freedom Party, Ridge Hospital, all trending from the same story. So that's sad news there. And condolences to the family of the late Madame Ekriadonko. The other big story happened, or the big stories that dominated a lot of the conversations happened yesterday. One was in the evening. It had to do with the 2024 Ballon d'Or. And the discussions are on, the arguments, all kinds of things.
To influence the process.
So Rodri, Vinicius Jr., Carvajal, Modric, Madrid, George Weah, Martinez, Ronaldo, Iniesta, Copa America, Drogba. everybody's AYA. And then the other ones also related to the trends, rigged and robbery. So rigged, over 60,000 posts. Robbery, over 86,000 posts. People are saying that Vinicius Jr. was robbed.
Why should they not just put weight on the various trophies? So, for instance, if you win a national European trophy, then there's a bigger weight on it.
It's always been that.
It's always been that.
The weights are clear.
In competition years, where there's a continental or a FIFA senior level competition, they will always place emphasis on that. Although it is not official, the voting patterns by the journalists will tell you this is where the weight is. You can win 25 trophies in a year. If Alowski wins the World Cup and he's an outstanding player at the World Cup and has had a decent year, most likely everybody will look at him. As compared to you with your 25 trophies.
So that's the thing. So the year, so for the Ballon d'Or, and it was stated, they looked at the months between January 2024 and October 2024. And in that period, in addition to all the club honors, Rodri led Spain, or was part of the Spanish team that won the Euros. Vini had a horrible Copa America. If you ask me, I think that's where the scales tipped in Rodri's favor. So that's that. And Real Madrid boycotted. Nobody from Real Madrid.
But Real Madrid is institutional.
Nobody.
I think Bayern
Munich also didn't.
So Bayern Munich didn't go.
But was Carlo himself there?
Nobody from Real
not
Madrid
even
went.
the gate man.
Nobody went.
It took Carlo off the thing.
Butragueno was the one day.
So Real Madrid.
No, he was even going, but then they also pulled the plug. So Emilio.
So why was Bayern Munich angry?
I think they.
I think it was a withdrawal of one award.
Yes. So initially,
because it was funny because
initially,
Gedmola.
Yes,
this was the rumor that the Gedmola award was cancelled,
but it was handed out.
And then hours to the event, France Football brought it back.
So Bayern couldn't have boycotted.
Yes, but because initially they were going to pull the plug on the Gedmola award. And then they decided to reinstate it.
Yeah, but if it is journalists who vote, then why do you boycott? You are boycotting it because
but they also feel the invisible hand of UEFA and those things. Yes. They have all those things.
Some people suspect that the rift between UEFA and Real Madrid over the Super League kind of played its hand.
Yeah, because Real Madrid was trying to build the Super League. In fact, they changed in Champions League format.
It's because
to counter the Super League.
Yes.
So journalists voted. The way that Otieji is sitting here, it is UEFA that influenced Otieji.
No, by the counting.
Which counting?
In elections, it's not those who vote, it's those who count.
Anyway,
look, let me tell you something.
It's not those who vote, but those who count.
No, the Ballon d'Or, me personally, the reason why I'm not really moved by it, since 2002 is when I made up my mind that the Ballon d'Or, it is not a football award. It is
something.
They are doing something with it.
Anyway.
And there have been several other examples. The year that Messi scored 90-something goals, he didn't win the Ballon d'Or. I know, he didn't.
2012, right?
There was a season where Messi scored 90-something goals in one calendar year.
Who won?
I think somebody else won.
Okay, we'll double check that. Yeah. So Baku is also in the trends there. And then, so the Man United related trends are also in here. Rude, Ten Hag, Amorim.
Amorim is in. Yeah, is he in?
No, he's not in. But
when is he coming?
Nobody knows. But they are discussing. Probably they are discussing. The story is that the compensation is not a problem.
Yeah,
he says he wants to be respectful to Sporting Lisbon.
He should take the respect somewhere, collect the money and come.
And that when the two clubs agree on something, then he will openly, because yesterday he was asked at a press conference, and when he was asked, he told the journalist, "I knew you were going to ask me this question." So it looks like
coming.
Yeah, well, they are in talks. United seem to be very,
Oscar,
I have my slot.
I like that. The slot machine. I like that, the slot machine. Anyway, to some
I have my slot.
Yeah, the slot machine. To some tech news, and Apple Intelligence was launched yesterday. Apple's iteration of AI was launched. They rolled out yesterday, and the tech giant unveiled the initial features on select devices with its latest software update for iPhones, iPads, and iMacs. Now, Apple's AI features for phones will be available for free to users with any iPhone 16, 15 Pro, and Pro Max who update to iOS 18.1. Now, Apple is saying that the company is implementing its first set of generative AI tools that aim to change how people use their iPhones and cement their place in the AI race against competitors like Microsoft and Google.
So first of all, you must have iPhone
15 Pro, No, iPhone 15 Pro, Pro Max, and 16.
I think
onwards.
As a man in the AI space, I think the Apple people should.
They need to give you.
So that I can try it.
You're looking for a bank to rely on. Let me give you a shoulder to lie on. Would we say to bank be no lie? Only one place where I get my eye on. Make I introduce you all to First Bank, the best services in the world, first rank. Customer service, everything is well planned. I make music, I travel, I sell land. They be my reserve tank. Cause every time I know my money's safe. Universal banking, it's in me here on the date. I'm a busy person, me no many time to wait. Now I got to Spain, even when I'm in the States. My me blue shirt. But tell me office a chilly, but who cares? Cause I bank with the best. I'm lucky, I'm too blessed. When it comes to First Bank, it's too west. Everything is you first. Woo!
Nobody feed you, I'm like us. First Bank, we treat you first. Treat you first. Somebody see yeah. Think about you first. Think about you first.
You first. First Bank.
Kind of way, tell you so the more money promo nabo.
Everybody likes money, but what do we like more than money? More money! Join the Telecel More Money promo and win money, more money, and even more money. Simply opt in for free and reload your mobile and broadband and be the lucky winner of the 1 million Ghana cedis grand prize. Also win cash prizes of up to 3 million Ghana cedis in the daily and weekly draws. Opt in for free by dialing *500# or send WIN to 500, or you can opt in on the Telecel Play app. The more you reload, the higher chances of winning in the Telecel More Money promo. Keep loading, win, and be a millionaire.
Telecel. Connecting energies.
Terms and conditions apply. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
I am Ohinere Gifty Auntie. You see, it always feels good when you receive that salary alert. I made a bold decision to invest a lump sum into the Old Mutual Retirement Salary Plan. And this means that I will get these alerts every month throughout retirement for the rest of my life. You too can retire on your own terms. So invest a lump sum in the Old Mutual Retirement Salary Plan today and enjoy guaranteed monthly income for life. Call Old Mutual on 050-453-4333 or visit oldmutual.com.gh to sign up today. Old Mutual, do great things every day.
Christmas is in the air, and it all starts at Electrum. Get amazing gift vouchers with 5,000 Ghana cedis, plus incredible discount of up to 60% on all your favorite electronics, from smart TVs to washing machines, refrigerators, mobiles, laptops, and more. Get the best deals on all big brands like LG, Brew, Samsung, Panasonic, Sony, Philips, Orient, Infinix, Tecno, Xiaomi, and many more. Call or WhatsApp us on 0552-777-905. Celebrate Christmas full with goodies only at Electromat, your world of electronics.
Channel 1 TV is live on DSTV, GoTV, and HD+. On DSTV, find us on Channel 363. On GoTV, we're on Channel 117. And on HD+, get us on Channel 108. On a digital TV, run a new search. But take note that without an antenna, you cannot access Channel 1 TV. Channel 1 TV can be accessed on any free-to-air digital box, like the DSTV and HD+ boxes. Channel 1 TV, telling your story, empowering change.
Beyond every boardroom is a story waiting to be written. A story of a business and its potential, of a community that thrives, a hospital that serves, and energy that powers millions of dreams. It's a story that only gets better with a partner that has the expertise and solutions to make it a reality. At Absa Corporate and Investment Banking, we are invested in your story, and we invite you to write it with us, because your story matters. Absa. an authorized FSP and registered credit provider.
There's no price like the ShopRite price. That's why we are committed to bringing you lower prices on all the essentials you need. Like 1 kg Lily white sugar for only 24 cedis, 99 pesos each, and 500 ml Tampico juice, all variants for just 5 cedis, 99 pesos each. Never pay more than the ShopRite price. Prices valid until 3rd November 2024. Only at ShopRite. Efia, I've been thinking. Have you noticed the changes in our community?
Kojo, things are really different now. The MPP has really made a difference.
Exactly. Free SHS, healthcare, new factories. It's like a whole new Ghana.
And don't forget, electricity is so much reliable now. I remember when we used to go days without light.
True. The NPP has done a lot to improve the basics.
Ajua is a beneficiary of free SHS, and now she is in university.
And that's the kind of leadership we need. Someone who is focused on making things better for everyone. But Efia, still there are a lot more to be done for the development of Ghana.
Absolutely, Kojo. The NPP has shown that real progress is possible.
On December 7th, let's vote to keep this positive impact going. Vote number 1 on the ballot. Vote NPP for a better and prosperous Ghana.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation. The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
$8:20 Citi Breakfast Show. So this morning we have been thrown into a bit of a conundrum by Queen Adonko's death. The flag bearer of the Ghana Freedom Party announced this morning through her son, and the clarity on what to do is not there because Constitution is not very explicit on what happens when a presidential candidate dies. Although some are saying that it means whatever the Constitution says for a parliamentary situation can apply to the nation, because the Electoral Commission sees the country as one constituency, and that's why the chairperson of the EC is the national returning officer, so that the parliamentary seat, there are parliamentary returning officers, right? Richard Sky has been helping us here with the article. Is it 50?
50. And
the Constitution.
Just to correct, the Constitution doesn't say it's parliamentary.
What does Constitution say?
It's an omnibus provision.
What is the title of that?
So it says representation of the people.
And then what is the subheading of what you are reading?
Yeah, so if you go to the side note, it says election of candidates.
It doesn't
say parliamentary or presidential.
So read it again. That's same 50 thing.
Yeah, the 50. So the applicable one, if you read it from the top, you will have to read a lot of things. But the applicable one is clause.
No, but sometimes you need to read a bit from the top so you know whether it's referring to presidential or parliamentary, right?
Okay.
Because if the subject will be, the hint will be from the beginning. So read a few of the 2 or 3.
Let me read it to satisfy you. Clause 1 says, subject to the provisions of this Constitution, where at the close of nominations and on the date before a public election, A, 2 or more candidates have been nominated, the election shall be held, and the candidate who receives the largest number of votes cast shall be declared elected. Or B, only one candidate is nominated, there shall be no election, and that candidate shall be declared elected.
Okay.
Now, Clause 2 says, where for the purposes of a public election, 2 or more candidates are nominated, but at the close of the nominations and on the day before the election, only one candidate stands nominated, a further period of 10 days shall be allowed for nomination of other candidates. And it shall not be lawful for any person nominated within that period of 10 days to withdraw his nomination.
Fair enough.
3 says, where at the close of nominations under clause 2 of this article, only one candidate stands nominated, there shall be no election, and that candidate shall be declared elected. And 4, which I contend is relevant for our purpose, says, where at the close of nominations, but before the election, one of the candidates dies, a further period of 10 days shall be allowed for nominations. And where the death occurs at any time within 25 days before the election in that constituency or unit shall be postponed for 21
now,
days.
Now, go back to the place on how the person wins. You read something earlier. Just now on how you said the person who wins the most votes is declared a winner.
Yes.
Good. Now, the reason I insist this is parliamentary is that to win a presidential election, there's a different rule.
Yeah, so you see,
so hold on. Okay. I'm also trying to learn law.
Okay.
I'm saying that you've read about 4 paragraphs.
Yes.
And the paragraph doesn't make reference to presidential or parliamentary.
Yes.
But I'm saying that the provision in my view is parliamentary because the determination of the winner is a simple majority of which a parliamentary election holds. To win a presidential election, you need a certain specific provision.
Bernard, so you see, that's why I told you that if you read the specific provisions dealing with the presidency, there's no wording of the constitution that cures the mischief we're talking about. So you remember I used the phrase mutatis mutandis with the necessary modifications. Now that is to say that while there appears to be a lacuna, unless of course somebody draws my attention to an express provision dealing with the subject matter, I've used all the tools I use for legal research and I don't find that in the Constitution. Now, once there's that lacuna and we agree that there appears to be that lacuna, this provision that I read to you, 50, doesn't tell you that it is parliamentary elections or it is assembly.
But I'm saying I agree with
because it uses constituency and unit.
Yeah, but I'm saying that again. The reason why I tilt towards parliamentary exclusively is because you also know that to win a presidential election, there is a different modus of determining the winner by way of votes.
That's true.
And I'm saying that this thing that you just read applies purely to parliamentary. Because if this were true, if this were omnibus, then it also applies to presidential.
No, you see, you can have general provisions and then also specific provisions in the Constitution, which happens. Now, when it comes to specific matters and the Constitution specifically provides for that, then you rely on the specific provision to deal with the situation. But where the matter is at large, it is general.
Okay. So you're saying that to declare a presidential person, so you declare a presidential candidate winner is a specific provision.
Yeah, that's a
so the general provision for winning elections is what was read.
Yeah, that's right.
But so this could even apply to district level election.
Yeah, that's right.
Because it says but then they then made the presidency special.
Exactly.
So it does not mean that all of this is parliamentary.
Exactly.
No problem.
Let's stay
with that. Let's stay with that thought. I wanted you to check Article 47 because I thought Article 47 defined a constituency.
Yeah.
And because the second leg of your argument or your reasoning was that. Since there is one returning officer for the presidential election, and that returning officer returns for the nation as a constituency, the use of a constituency does not limit an election to parliamentary. So why then do they define constituency separately in 47? Well, and in that definition, there is no contemplation of the whole nation.
Yes, which you are right with that assessment. But so let me read the provision as you asked. So Article 47, 1 says Ghana shall be divided into as many constituencies for the purpose of electing or election of members of parliament, as the Electoral Commission may prescribe. And each constituency shall be represented by one member of parliament. 2 says no constituency shall fall within more than one region.
Good.
3, the boundaries of each constituency shall be such that the number of inhabitants in the constituency is, as nearly as possible, equal to the population quota. 4, For the purposes of clause 3 of this article, the number of inhabitants of a constituency may be greater or less than the population quota in order to take account of means of communication, geographical features, density of population, and area, and boundaries of the regions and other administrative or traditional areas. 5.
So you see how specific a constituency is in terms of you can't fall in more than one region.
Yes.
So how on earth can the country be seen as a constituency?
No, let me just finish.
Continue.
I'll deal with your
You deal with
matter.
that.
5 says, the Electoral Commission shall review the division of Ghana into constituencies at intervals of not less than 7 years, or within 12 months after the publication of the enumeration figures, or the census figures, after the holding of a census of the population of Ghana, whichever is earlier, and may, as a result, alter the constituencies. It's may. Now 6 says, where the boundaries of a constituency established under this article are altered as a result of a review, the alteration shall come into effect upon the next dissolution of Parliament. It's all on my mind. Now 7 says, for the purposes of this article, quote and unquote, population quota means the number obtained by dividing the number of inhabitants of Ghana by the number of constituencies into which Ghana is divided under this article. Now, so you note that there is a specific provision dealing with how Ghanaians are represented in Parliament for purposes of electing members of Parliament.
Wonderful.
And I have said that by practice, I'm not so sure about a legal provision that deals with the matter. By practice, for purposes of presidential elections, Ghana is deemed as one constituency, which in effect means that if you vote in Nankpanduri or you vote in what you call
we'll still add your votes.
Exactly, we'll still add your votes for purposes of determining who is elected president of the republic. The law, in my respectful view, as I understand it, does not provide for that matter specifically, except it says that there shall be election to determine president, blah, blah, blah. But when you come to these cascading matters, the very fine details you're talking about, that provision
are more specific for
exactly
electing MPs.
Yes, or for purposes of
because when they were describing this, they were talking about for choosing MPs. So we'll pause there and come back. This is very interesting because, in a sense, you're saying for presidential election there are some specific provisions, for example, around how to determine a winner.
Yes.
Yet the Constitution failed to contemplate a specific provision for when a presidential candidate dies. It just uses the word candidate as a general provision. Now, I don't know if they did not realize that the stakes for a presidential election are much higher, so that the process of a party nominating a parliamentary candidate to replace a dead parliamentary candidate may not be the same as the process for a presidential. So, for example, the time limits they gave, the 10 days and all those, postponed the election. What I'm trying to say is that you can have a by-election, and therefore, if you say there's a parliamentary election on December 7, you can say because the candidate dies, they can postpone it for 10 days, and it won't cause the world to stop.
No, but
a presidential election is a very different matter.
Yeah, but Bernard, what you don't recognize is that in the same constitution, where there's a tie or there's no clear winner, 50% plus one,
there's a runoff.
There's a runoff. The constitution says that it shall be held within 25 days, if my memory serves me correctly.
But when you go to the CI, that gave you the. I still get why. When you go to the CI, that says, for example, in selecting December 7 as our voting day, did the CI specifically say December 7 or nothing else?
The CI,
because I'm saying, is December 7 a convention or by law? Is December 7 by consensus?
No, so it's by calculation. The language of it talks about certain specific intervals.
So that's what I'm saying. So if you are going to postpone a national election, as an example, so I'm saying that if we are to go by the omnibus provision and say it can apply to both, the omnibus provision says if the person dies within 25 days of the election, he must be replaced and the election postponed, right? And I'm saying that has implications for because if that is true, then the CI or the method of calculating the presidential election date for which we arrive at December 7 should also contemplate the possibility of a postponement.
You see,
Please, I accept my logic.
No, I understand what you're saying.
You hear my logic?
No, yes, I understand. What I'm saying is that, you see, the Constitution itself acknowledges that there will be times where, for instance, we may not be able to hold an election to elect a president. So then there are processes in place to deal with that mischief.
So how did the Constitution contemplate that somebody could die?
No, you can't contemplate everything.
And
it can't be
there are
written.
only two certainties in life: death and taxes.
Okay, hold on.
So if the Constitution cannot contemplate, and the Constitution contemplated death of a parliamentary of somebody.
Yes.
So I'm saying that this I'm not even arguing with you. I'm saying that if the Constitution makes reference to death of a candidate, we can safely assume it applies to both presidential and parliamentary.
Yeah, that's what I have said. That's on if you read all the provisions together, a reasonable deduction is that provision, in my respectful view,
so if the person had died 25 days to an election, would have postponed the December 7 election.
Most likely, in my if
but this
my
incident
interpretation
has
holds.
occurred outside.
I get it. I'm asking hypothetical. So
let me ask you a question.
Yes.
And this matter came up when I was in constitutional law class with the respected Justice of the Court of Appeal, Yao Pong.
Okay.
The issue was on the day of election.
Yeah.
Elections are going on.
Yeah.
Vice presidential candidate, presidential candidate, they all are alive. Somewhere towards the midday.
Touch wood,
knock on wood. The presidential candidate dies. What happens in that case? Now, so it is a novel matter. You see, the Constitution can't contemplate everything. Now, in that particular, my argument in class was that it will be deemed, as I argued here, that the vice president is elected on his own steam. So, while the presidential candidate may have died, the vice president, having been elected vice president-elect of the Republic, then takes office as vice president, first of all, right? And then the constitutional processes are engaged to elevate him to president of the Republic. Then the procedure laid down in the Constitution to name a vice president then kicks in.
That is on the assumption that this particular person, the deceased party,
died on the day.
On the day.
Okay. So then you're saying that based on that, then if what you're saying is that the Constitution couldn't contemplate such a wild scenario, then this scenario of Ikuadonko is not even that complicated.
On the face of it.
It's not that complicated. So hold on, let's not over. So basically what you're saying is that the Constitution in Article 50 tells us what to do. GFP must give the notice to the EC and then submit a new name in 10 days. Once they do, and don't forget that 10 days still gives us 30 days to elections. Because
so
we are 40 days.
Still outside.
So they're still outside the 25 days. So get a name in 10 days. All the EC needs to do is to replace the Ikuadonko's name with the person they've duly submitted. And obviously they'll add a running mate too.
Now the other question that emerges, which is why it might seem not complicated but complicated, is do we need to go and do reballoting to determine the order in which the candidates appear?
But the balloting was for parties.
Per party, not for the
it was for parties.
Yeah, that's true.
So the party is already there.
That's true. But you see,
that's why Mama didn't go, but Manibu Mama went.
That's true. But it is your way of looking at it.
Maumia was not there. So wait. The party representative went to ballot for the party slot.
Forward on behalf of the
yes.
party and the presidential
So the party
has taken his place.
That's why the party's image also in alignment with it. So I think that is a really secondary issue more. The more important issue is, I think the more important question we face is if Ikuadonko's party is, I think that's the most important. If Ikuadonko's party is not able to replace her,
then
what happens?
Yes.
That's actually the issue, because if they replace her, they will just have to put her name, the name of the person as number 3.
That's all.
If they don't replace her, then that means that number 3 slot must go. Or they have to find somebody to, so they may have to recap.
So I think okay to put black spot there to occupy it so that all other candidates will maintain their respective, or parties will maintain their respective positions?
So I think we are preempting a lot of things. What we need to, definitely I'm even asking that, does the party even have, who is the general secretary of the party?
The party has,
you used to be my,
I think these are difficult questions.
The party has
no, you don't have to do that. When didn't Mills die in Ghana? Didn't the country move on? So what are you saying? Didn't you even announce his death? Bro, you are the former head of politics. Where is Ikuadonko's?
The party is headquartered in the eastern region.
In which town?
Kabu. It's called Kabu also.
Who is the general secretary of GFP?
His name is...
We're going to need to call them to ask what their constitution also says. Because some of this is also constitutional, right? Because the EC will work with your constitution. Some parties, which is why in the Mills case, you remember you said NDC decided to affirm Mahama.
Yes.
And so long as the General Secretary and the Chairman write to the EC to say that this person satisfies our process, the EC agrees.
Yes.
So I think the missing link here is the General Secretary of the GFP to come and tell us what their party's provision says. Do they even have a constitution?
Well, the first requirement
is a constitution
for getting certification from the EC.
So the EC would have GFP's constitution.
Yes. Hopefully.
So that they will say that having satisfied the provision of the constitution, the person is duly elected as flag bearer of this party.
Yeah. So, but we should also be address our minds to Article 55, which says that as much as possible, your internal organization.
Fair enough. So Fred, find the GFP General Secretary for us, because this confusion will be solved from their side. On the EC side, you're saying it's Article 50.
Yeah, in my respectful.
10 days to choose a new person. And then replace. So you haven't come to the point of postponing election yet because this
we are
person
still outside
in the 25.
They said 25-day window.
Do you know the GFP's General Secretary?
No, please.
Their chairman?
I know Roman Father.
Who is Roman Father?
The running mate. He works at Atinka FM.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
He's a journalist?
Yeah, he's a DJ. He's a very good guy.
So why is he called Roman Father?
I
thought it was a Catholic priest.
Oh no.
Initially that's what I thought.
Oh, so Ekriadonko's running mate is a journalist?
Yeah.
Oh really?
Oh, let's find him and put him on the line.
Yeah.
Or his morning.
Could be, but we'll find him.
Okay, let me do some announcements because this is getting very interesting. If you're a lawyer listening, please help me.
Yeah,
because the matter is very
diverse.
All right, so you do that, WhatsApp number 054-998-6996. Let me pay my bills. I'll come back to you.
Yes. Old Mutual is here. They're saying that if you want to retire and walk away or enjoy monthly income every time in your golden years, invest in their Old Mutual retirement salary plan today and start receiving monthly income to enjoy the perfect retirement. Call them on 050-453-4333 or visit oldmutual.com. Old Mutual do great things every day. Now this Friday is the 1st of November, and so you need to step out there and have some fun. There's a great mix of Afro jazz tunes, live stand-up comedy, Obi and Ponsal, General Intatia, Chemical, Putogo, the Muse acoustic band, all of that happening as part of the Park and Watch November edition. It's happening at the Ghana Club, just a minute away from the Independence Square. It gets open at 6. Come and enjoy great movies, great things to eat, great moments, and all of that. All of this is powered by Hypeflix Drive-In. So Hypeflix Drive-In, just hashtag Park and Watch. And where are you going? If you are going to the mall to buy something, or you're going to buy fuel, or you're shopping for your home, or eating out, you can do all of these things because you have the SG Visa card. It's the best option to make payments for goods and services online or anywhere with a POS in Ghana. Call 030-214-314 to find out more. SG Ghana, the future is you.
This is a serious time. All right, so some lawyers are contacting me, and I'm happy what I'm hearing. Somebody says, okay, Bernard, Sky is advancing a provision which is not explicitly stated in the Constitution.
That's true.
It is a contrived position. Bernard, your position can equally hold. Nothing bars the vice presidential candidate from taking up the presidential position and then nominating a vice presidential candidate. Presidential elections are specifically provided for under Chapter 8, while parliamentary are under Chapter 7. Parliamentary elections cannot work in the same way as presidential elections.
That's true.
In presidential elections, there's a vice who can always stand in for the president, but for the parliamentary, there's none. You see why I keep saying that? You see, if I were on a panel, I would disagree with you because I'm saying that. Two things. This provision, it talks about how to declare a winner, and that's parliamentary. Number two, a parliamentary candidate doesn't have a running mate.
Yes.
Which is why when he dies, you need to replace him and postpone the election. A president. My argument is that the reason we go through the whole process of choosing a running mate is to forestall certain things. He's a running mate to the candidate and the eventual vice president to the president.
Was he?
Wait, I'm coming. Okay. Now he must satisfy
all the requirements of president.
Which is why when you go to EC to say you are running as Nathan Kwao and you say Godfred Odum is your running mate, they will make sure that Godfred Odum satisfies certain provisions.
That's true.
So he must qualify to be your running mate.
That's true.
My argument is that qualification to be a running mate contemplates that, touch wood a million times, if the candidate dies,
he can't step in.
He should, because he's performing two roles. His first role is running mate to you. His second role is, in the case you win, vice president to the country. So and I say vice president is more serious than running mate. So if the candidate is dead, the common sense view should be put a running mate on the ballot.
You see,
simple.
No, Bernard. You see,
we shouldn't make our life complex with all these things.
Hold on, Bernard. You see, I don't disagree with that view. Except I'm saying that don't assume that because the people of a particular party voted for Kwame AB.
Yes.
As presidential candidate.
Yeah.
And then he goes to tell them that, oh, my choice of running mate is Kofi Owusu.
Which he did with the party's
endorsement, right?
Yes.
With his endorsement.
Which the
means,
EC, but don't forget, some people couldn't get running mates because the EC said they couldn't get there. If you can't choose a running mate for the EC, the running mate must satisfy certain conditions.
Yeah, I understand that. What I'm trying to say is that means by reason of that introduction to the party and the party endorsing, means that the party people want that person in the event of a particular event happening, unfortunate as it may be, becoming presidential candidate. You see, hold on.
Do you know I insist?
No, hold on. Let me finish.
You finish. It is implicit.
Hold on. The reason is that that is why you go to the party. In my reading of the provision, I use the phrase, and let me repeat, mutatis mutandis, with the necessary modifications.
We shall not be intimidated by that word.
No, I'm not intimidating you.
We don't care.
Yes, with the necessary modifications as to apply to a presidential candidate situation.
Yes.
So that you go to the party, that this is the unfortunate situation we have. Well, we have a vice presidential candidate in the person of A, B, and C. Is it the will of the party, as the NDC did in 2012, to elevate that person to become presidential candidate of the party? Once the party people agree to it, and it conforms to democratic practices,
my difference from you is
what
that
you should not do is to do a typical democratic...
No, in the NDC case, they had not filed the name of Mills.
I explained that. Yes, I explained that.
And I'm saying that if the people have chosen a running mate who, if the president dies, automatically becomes president after being sworn in by the parliament, president is more serious than candidate. Because president is one selected out of 13. Candidate is one he may not even win. So if for the high office of president, when the president dies, the vice president is sworn in, why can't the running mate of a candidate duly filed with the EC? That's why you don't. Okay, you can tell if the vice president didn't have any role in the election, the EC wouldn't have to receive the name before they accept your nomination. So the EC should be able to say, in the event that you die, you will be replaced by your vice president, and then you provide a separate vice president. Because if you can replace me as president, you should be able to replace me as flag bearer.
So Bernard, it is fair you make that argument, but you see, the EC cannot by word of mouth say that. If they want to do that, and there's some constitutional authority for that,
they should do it. You can challenge them.
Hold on. They should go through the proper processes, including passing an SCI.
The process is not clear. So what they should do is to interpret the law, and then somebody can challenge it.
Hold on, Bernard. See, by your logic.
Yes.
What you are saying is that because the vice president and the president win the election, and because the president dies, unfortunately, then the vice president should automatically become president.
That's what the law says.
Hold on, no, that's not what he says.
What does he say?
Hold on. Before you become president in that situation, there are processes laid down in the Constitution.
I'm saying that.
That's why I'm saying that
the process is not in contention.
Yes.
Swearing in, again, when Mills died, it was less than a day.
Yes.
Parliament was called.
Yes.
They went, read the constitutional provision. The speaker read what was supposed to have been read. Mahama took the oath.
Yes.
And then he assumed. So the automaticity. Yes. So, but I'm saying that there was no contention on the legal thing to do. And I'm saying that all the EC needs to do.
Do you know why? In my respectful view, the reason the framers created that superstructure is to ensure that, yes, the intention of the voter is clear. We are voting for Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo as President of the Republic, and we are voting for Dr. Baumia
as his running mate,
as his Vice President.
His running mate.
And those positions are distinct. They are different. There are different roles that the two of them play.
But those roles are linked. They are different. Saying, we know the president and vice president are the same, but the reason, the vice president's job is to be there when the president is not there.
Yes.
So it is performing a function. The function is that if the man is not there, you replace.
Yes.
So if the man is not there, perform your function by replacing. So why do you need to say that they voted him on his own right?
It is so because you see. Let me tell you why. You see the Accra situation. Accra, in any hopeless democracy, Gerolins could have easily fired, Kensaka because they disagreed with each other, and he was on the other progressive alliance or whatever alliance it was. You understand? And then he was reportedly feeding information to the opposition. He could have fired him. But because he is elected clearly by the people of Ghana, that look, we are electing you
as
together
vice
with this
president.
man.
Yes.
But your job is vice president.
Good.
You do as he says you should do and as the constitution provides for.
Yes.
So that in special circumstances arising, you assume the role subject to you having fulfilled the constitutional obligation. So in the case of Mahama, if Mahama had just assumed that he was president of the republic, that would not have happened.
You see, what I'm saying is that...
I'm just trying to give you the principle.
Yes.
So the same principle apply. If you distill the principle from that, you apply the same principle to the situation with the unfortunate death of Ikeadonko. They are two distinct individuals.
Yeah, but
let me finish.
You are not. You see, what you are not getting is that we don't disagree that something has to be done before he assumes the position.
Then we agree on.
But hold on. You see, in the Mahama case, there were two issues. To assume position as president had nothing to do with NDC anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
To assume the position of flag bearer was an NDC issue.
Yes, that's true.
Good. So I'm saying that there are two issues. When the person leaves the position, to assume the position to replace them, there's a role for the EC and there's a role for the party.
Yes.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So when they were swearing Mahama as president, they didn't ask NDC's permission.
No, they didn't need to.
Because he was a sitting vice president
of the republic. Yes.
Good. And I'm saying that now you have an Ikeadonko departure. Good. The EC in this view is the higher power and the party is the second extreme. So in replacing Ikeadonko as the flag bearer, I think the EC must kick in the process.
No, it is not on the say-so of the Electoral Commission. That's the point I'm making. Because if it was the say-so of the Electoral Commission, then the EC can today say that, look, in the circumstances I am elevating. So for all you know, the people who voted for Ikeadonko did not intend to have, what's the name of the guy, the gentleman, with all respect to him? What's his name?
He's called teacher, something.
Yeah, for all you know, they want some other person to be presidential candidate. That's the point I'm making. So you need to go back to the college and ask them.
No, but I'm saying that the function of a running mate is not. You see, we are splitting hairs here. A running mate provision for an election, in my view, is contemplating the absence of the candidate. That is why. So this is how I'm arguing. And listen to my flow. President dies, vice takes over.
Yes.
There are two authorities. The state through parliament, the party. When the president dies, the state takes over, swears in and so the state is the higher power. The party is the mitigating force. I'm saying, bring that logic into running mate and candidate. You filed with the EC. So in this case, EC is state. Candidate dies. Running mate takes over.
How?
Simple. Because the filing, you see, your filing of the two names there is an implicit promise to the EC that if this man is not there, this man replaces them.
You may defeat the intention of the.
So are you saying that? So
which electorate?
The electorate, the GC, what's the name?
The Ghana Freedom Party.
Yes, the Ghana Freedom Party electorate.
But the Ghana Freedom Party elected, or a party elects their flag bearer.
Yes.
No party elects their running mate.
No, they do.
No party elects a running mate.
Not in the sense of electing.
But they approve.
But the process is.
That's my point. So that approval is material to the death of the candidate.
That is why.
So listen to my logical. You have chosen a candidate.
Yes.
And you are giving some of your power to choose the running mate to this person.
Yes.
And when the person chooses, you ratify.
Yes.
So I'm saying, in choosing Ikeadonko, you have endorsed her choice of her running mate.
Yes.
You did not disagree with it.
Yes, that's true.
The function of a running mate is to replace a candidate when he's not there. Just like the function of a vice president is to replace when he's not there. So by my logic, once the candidate dies, let the vice president the running mate automatically assume the candidature, and then let the party just basically affirm it.
Okay, but then you are coming back
but
to
it's
my
not the same.
point.
You see, there's a difference between.
In which case?
Hold on. There's a difference between. I'm saying that there must be, because of time, there must be an automatic ascension with an affirmation, not a new process of the party saying we are going to. That's my point. So let the party say we object. But if the party is not going to object, so what I am saying that what I would say is that let the EC say, and of course EC are better lawyers than me. I'm just giving my common sense. The teacher, what's his name? Pastor
Roman Father.
Which
is a nickname, by the way.
Comfortably becomes the candidate. then EC will say, GFP, do you have anybody
you want to?
GFP will write and say, oh, we affirm the decision and we are even supplying Caleb Kuda as the running mate. then we move. You see, but let's not tell GFP we are giving you 10 days to supply and they say we have Congress. No.
You see, if we read all the provisions together, in my respectful view, that's where we come to.
Yes.
Because, as I have said, the intention of the DFP electorate is to elect Ikuadonko presidential candidate.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That intention should not be defeated by supplanting Ikuadonko with some other person on the basis of...
She has expired.
Yes, she's
and
expired.
The reason why...
Go back and ask them.
No, we won't go back.
All you know,
we won't go back. Every action has a consequence. We won't go back because when you chose her and you affirmed her running mate candidate, you implicitly agree that if she's not there, this guy will replace her.
To a limited extent.
No,
to a limited extent.
No. So you don't choose running mate on the basis of, you see, which is why you must think carefully before you choose a partner in anything you do. Don't get up and say I'm choosing it. No. If you are choosing a partner, this partner can replace you. This running mate is your partner in the election.
Yeah, to a limited extent.
To a very great extent. It's not to a limited extent.
To a limited extent, because that same person does not automatically take over the mantle of running mate if the person that person is vice to decides not to contest an election. That person will still have to contest and be voted for by the party's Congress.
Dead men don't talk. So it's different. If the person is alive, it's different.
But that is
you see, death is you see, I'll tell you something, like a will. There are certain things that when you die, it kicks in and you have no choice. Okay. If you say you are withdrawing from the race, you came with the person and you are corpus mentis, as they call it, and you say you won't run again. So you can't say the person replaces you because you yourself are not there to defend you understand. But the person has died. So the person's last decision was that she was a running candidate of GF. No. So the person's death she hasn't changed her mind. It was only death that took her. So you cannot then say that if the person was alive and said I won't run again, the running mate doesn't take over. But the person's last decision to the EC was that I'm the candidate. But as fate to have it, she's no longer there. But her last decision was to choose this man as a running mate. So what do? The man she just as a running mate replaces her in the place of her death. So
two things. If you allow me. Bernard, hold on. Two things.
What about this? Don't you understand?
Let's listen to Godfrey's argument.
Two things on this particular one. It's quite clear that our constitution needs help. That much is clear, which is why the delay of the constitutional review. Because you see, as our democracy becomes more sophisticated, we are starting to realize how inadequate portions of our constitution is. And so it becomes important that certain details like this, because, and also the thing is this, most constitutions generally, I think, deal with the matter of running of vice presidents post-elections and their succession. But I haven't seen one that deals with
a situation like this.
A situation like this. This is a pretty unique situation.
No, ours is modeled around the US practice too, which is before you file, you have a running mate.
No, you don't get it. I'm talking about
the passing of
a vice presidential candidate.
Okay. The passing
of the main candidate and who takes over and the succession line that this one undertakes. Now, the reason why we are saying it has to go back to the party, perhaps also, is don't forget that in our electoral setup, the selection process undertakes several things. The considerations include regional considerations, ethnic considerations, right? So the considerations that might have led to the selection of Dennis Roman Fada, for instance, as a running mate, will not be the same consideration for him to become flag bearer. Because something switches in that regard.
That's not EC's problem to solve.
No, but you see,
those things are just conventions and their own calculations for politics. Constitutionally, you are the person replacing the person. Whether you are looking at north-south voter, it's not our problem.
No. But here's the thing: the decision ultimately does not belong to the EC; it belongs to the party.
It belongs to the state.
True. It belongs to the party. You see, okay, so the party can make a decision then that we are withdrawing from the election. Is it the EC that is going to say we are withdrawing you from the election? The EC cannot by itself say that.
I agree. I'm just saying.
Hold on. The Ghana Freedom Party could say that they are in the election. Or they could issue a statement tomorrow and say we are withdrawing from the election. the EC cannot force the Ghana Freedom Party to remain on the ballot.
No problem. But I'm also saying that I agree with you there. But I'm saying that some of the things that we've put in our constitution are there to guide a certain process.
Yes.
Okay. So, yes, the party can choose, but I am saying that in choosing their running mate, that running mate concept, in my respective view, is a contemplation of a replacement.
Of continuity.
Yes.
I understand.
We put it there not for fun. We put it there because we know that it's possible people can die.
So we wait.
And if the person dies, we should be able to continue. Because if this happened a day to the election, what we do? You see, and in everything you are applying, you must also look at the circumstances. You see, the law doesn't. The man was not made for the law. The law was made for man. The law was made to help man. So if you approach the law from this perspective of finching what the law has said, we may all just die.
Because the certainty of the law.
No, but you see, the law, there's an evolution of how it is. Look, if we all exercise our common sense, we don't even need law. Right? If we all exercise common sense and kindness and use, the law is there to basically restrain the business instincts of man.
Let me ask you a question.
So I am saying that if it wasn't for political abro, this wouldn't have even been an issue.
Yes.
So the reason why people are asked to add a running mate to the ticket is because we need a vice president, but also because we know that it is possible for the guy to die.
Let me ask you two questions in this matter, since you've decided to stretch this, and then I'll get to the EC and why
lawyers are sending messages. Read it for them.
I have issues.
Yes.
So, what if Ekiadonko had been what we call an independent candidate, not linked to a political party that is supposed to have a certain structure, and she says that, and you know that person passes away, automatically the running mate becomes the independent candidate?
In the things,
per your argument.
No, in the things Kai read, there's clearly a provision for independent candidate. What they said was that, and I'll give you the reason. This is my argument. For if the person had died 25 days or less before an election, this
is an independent candidate.
Remember, if the person dies before an election 25 days and the person was not independent, they would have had to postpone the election and replace the person.
Okay.
But if the person is an independent candidate, there will be no postponement and there will be no replacement. So
the running mate, will the running mate have the opportunity to say, I am now putting myself up as an independent candidate? What would the process be for that person to replace the so-called independent candidate?
Because the constitution, okay, I think I get your point.
You know why?
I'm coming. I think I get his point. So independent candidate has no structure.
Yes.
So independent candidate comes on his own.
Yes. With a running mate.
Thank you.
And passes away during that same period.
So the independent candidate will not be replaced.
No. But can the running mate, would the EC then say running mate of the independent candidate go and run because
I think you have won the argument.
Because the continuity.
No, I think you have won the argument. So the independent candidate being treated differently tells you that there's a role for the party.
That's why I told you that you can't just override the intention of the electorate. They may well have decided that Ukiadonko should be their presidential candidate,
very good,
but not so that even when she does, you go back to them and ask them.
Now, point two.
I think I agree.
Now, point two on the matter of the quality of our elections and why I think that the Electoral Commission has been very negligent in its role as the supervisor of our elections. It's true. And no, it's not the first time that I've said this.
Go ahead.
I keep making this point. You see, the quality of our elections is not just in the declaration of elections. It's not just in the sophistication of the gadgets, but it's also in the supervision of the entities and the individuals who constitute the electoral process.
Thank you.
Our Electoral Commission has supervised over the past decade or so a process where all kinds of institutions are allowed into the electoral process as parties. Here we are. We've been running elections. You, Richard Sky, you've covered elections more than anybody else in this, as well as Bernard Avle. You are struggling to name the General Secretary and Chairman of the GFP. As we sit here.
That's my negligence.
It's not your negligence.
If I was a serious journalist, I would have gone to get the number.
Where was the last time they organized the Congress?
That's a good question.
What issues do they address? What do they stand for?
Farmers and women.
No, you see,
that's what she said.
The EC has a very strict checkbox for what a party can be and what a party should be. For most of those situations, the EC tends to close its eyes to the rest. That is why we don't talk about funding. of the political parties. We don't do anything to the political parties most of the time. Other than that, generally speaking, to be honest with you, a party like the GFP should not exist as a party, but Madam Equiadonko would have contested simply as an independent candidate. There is nothing wrong with that. But for the structure, and you see, it's the same thing.
So
we
the
do.
problem we are in today
is because of the negligence of the Electoral Commission.
People,
you see,
people who don't have proper parties have been given. Instead of going independent,
we pretend that those parties are so-called proper smaller parties.
They are not political
to fit the checkbox of our democracy has smaller parties in it, which is a requirement for a good democracy. So we have all these small parties who, the last time you put when the Daily Graphic News team, the editorial team, did the analysis of the presence of the parties, you have so-called smaller parties who are unable to put up, some of them even 12 candidates nationally to contest elections. 18. But here we are having a debate. We spent 2 hours discussing the succession of some of these parties. So we are at this point simply because the Electoral Commission has refused to do its job properly.
Wow.
If the EC had done its job and protect the democracy the way it's supposed to be protected, the GFPs, the LPGs of this era, and all those other smaller parties, I'm not saying they should not exist, but will be held to a certain standard.
And to think that PNC doesn't have a presidential candidate on the ballot.
On the ballot.
And PNC has been there
it's more present
since 92.
If you and I went to...
And they have more parliamentary candidates than all the rest. They have 31.
No, it's not even just that. They actually have offices.
Yeah, PNC have offices.
If you and I took a trip... You and I took a random trip to middle belt of Ghana today and asked for a PNC office.
Okay.
We will find one. You see, so the Electoral Commission, like I'm saying, has struggled.
Let me talk to Justin.
Hold on. Let me just wrap up on this matter. If it does not fix this problem for us, they will keep on creating these kinds of problems as our democracy grows. So this is on the EC. I'm looking at the EC for this constitutional crisis that we find ourselves in on this particular matter.
Now let's see whether it's a crisis yet, because initially my view was that the running mate for Equiadonko should automatically replace her. But upon your argument and listening closer to Sky, I have yielded, because I think the independent candidate point defeats the logic of my flow. But let me talk to Justice Sai, a lawyer, to see where he stands on this. Justice Sai, thanks for joining us. So I don't even know how to ask the first question, because what should happen next? Equiadonko unfortunately has died. We have 40 days to an election. We don't see any explicit provision in the Constitution about what should happen when a presidential candidate dies 40 days to an election. So what should the EC do? What should the GFP do?
Oh, okay. So good morning to your listeners. There are regulations on this. You may find it in the CI 127. And this is what the regulation, spells out. When a candidate dies, there's a distinction between an independent candidate and then a political party's candidate. So when a candidate dies, the regulation says that in respect of a political party, the EC would have to open nomination for 10 days for a new person to be, nominated in respect of that candidate. However, if it's an independent candidate, there will not be any such opening of nomination, and the process will proceed in that order. Now, the next question is, how does the political party fill the dead person's candidature? That will be determined by the constitution of the political party. Some may by consensus just take someone and approve based on their internal party structures to replace the candidate. But that candidate himself would have to secure his own, those who nominate them. You have to go around and get those things done. Because the Constitution spells out what a candidate needs to do to be able to contest. And that is not necessarily a question of political party. So my view is that you cannot use the persons who nominated the deceased person, the deceased candidate, to
be this. I mean, you cannot adopt the deceased candidate nomination documentation for the new nominee. That new nominee ought to also go and secure their particulars of nomination, and that is why I believe the constitution, the regulation allows the EC to suspend, to open nomination for 10 more days for the person to be nominated for political parties. But for independent candidates, there's no such. In fact, the rules said that there will not be any. Says that the election will continue as though nothing had happened.
So which means that for you, both the CI 127 and Article 50 are referring to both presidential and parliamentary elections, because the language uses things like constituency, right? So in reading that on the first reading, you are like, well, if you talk of constituency, you are referring to a parliamentary candidate, right? There's no explicit mention of a presidential constituency. But you are saying that CI and the 51 are applicable to both a presidential candidate and a parliamentary candidate. Is that how I should say what you're saying?
Yes, so the CI 127, when you look at its scope of applicability, it says that the regulations apply to both the presidential and the parliamentary elections, and as the case may be. So the understanding from that is that the rules in the CI 47, which is what I'm CI 127, which is what I'm referring to as providing for this situation, would apply to both the presidential and the parliamentary.
Wow. So the logical thing is for the GFP to renominate a candidate and submit that to the EC in 10 days.
Yes, that is what the rules are. But then the 10 days start counting when the EC has been formally notified of the death of the candidate.
So the EC cannot assume they know the person has died until the GFP tells the EC.
Yeah, there's a formal way of notifying the EC, and that must be done first.
Okay. Now, second leg, if the 10 days or if the death is known to the EC 25 days to an election or less, that means that the EC has to postpone the election.
Yeah, that's what the regulation actually stipulates, that when it happens that way, the election should be postponed it should be extended for another, I think, 21 days or so for that to happen. And I think the theory behind this is that, the Constitution as well as our laws promote multi-party, democracy. So we do not want a situation where death or things of that nature or withdrawal of candidature would lead to one person contesting. So if you read the regulation thoroughly and even the Constitution, you would see that whenever there is a withdrawal or whenever there is death, the rule suggests that enough opportunity should be given for a candidate to replace the person who has died, so that we'll continue to have the multi-party, the multi-choice system of voting.
So a lot depends on what GFP does. If for some strange reason GFP doesn't communicate to the EC that their flag bearer is passed, EC could also just sit and wait. And then if we realize eventually that, this is funny because justice, if can the EC not say that we've heard in the news that your candidate is dead, so come and confirm if he's dead or not? Because the EC cannot just sit down and wait, right?
Yeah, the regulation says that the EC does not specify who should do the notification. So in the absence of specification as to who should notify the EC, I believe there are other people or other sources that can confirm to the EC. But the point I was trying to make is that the 10 days start counting when the EC has formal notification of the death. And in fact, generally in matters of law and death, even if you hear that someone has died, sometimes you will still be required to prove that the person has died, and that is done by a certificate of death or another form of evidence of death. So whichever way, the EC will get to know, I believe, eventually. And of course, the political party will not, I doubt if a political party would just be there and not say anything about what is going on. Okay. They will definitely take steps.
Now, Justice, now you've answered the legal, you've answered the legal question of what should be done. Now, let me be hypothetical. Okay, now, so this is a hypothetical question. So, assuming GFP is unable to nominate a candidate between now and say 2 weeks' time,
Yeah.
What needs to happen? Because if you cannot have a ballot with a dead person.
Yeah.
Right. So now you are saying that we don't need somebody can notify EC. So maybe Ben Adable can even write to the EC and say, I know that this person is dead or whatever because of an interview. So the EC knows. Now, if the EC knows the person is died and the party doesn't take steps to replace the person, what should the EC do? Should the EC then say, I'm going to reprint ballot boxes to take her name out? Do you understand me? Because there are 14 people on the ballot and she's number 3. Now, she cannot be on that ballot because if we vote, she's not alive. You can't vote for a dead person.
Yeah.
So, this is a hypothetical question. If the party doesn't take steps to properly replace her, what should the EC do? Or should the EC be left with?
Well, if I were to, like I said, in this particular hypothetical situation stated, there's very little law on that. But I believe that administrative processes, which may not necessarily be part of the law, would apply in the sense that, one, we know that you cannot put someone who is dead on a ballot, for election. So I expect the EC to remove, the person from the ballot. That is the first step. Now, there will be other questions as to, we balloted for positions, and the positions are based on numbers. So, for example, we have someone contesting and says that number 1, and he has designed their campaign and everything to be number 1. And then there's number 8 and there's number 4. Everyone, number 12 says 12 apostles in that regard. So people, these things matter. But in the absence of any explicit, provision, I would assume that there will be reballoting for the position. But then that also comes with cost and other effects. So if the parties, let's say the candidates on the ballot can also reach a consensus to keep their numbers. But these are administrative processes, and I think common sense will be a better guide than even
law.
Law. Yeah.
Because as you are saying, let's be practical. NDC campaign on number 8, right?
Yeah.
So if for some reason number 3 is not there, but number 3 is not
number 7,
is not replaced, does number 4 become 3, 5 become 4, or we should say maintain the 14 and make number 3 blank? Do you understand? Because as you are saying, for practical purposes, somebody's number 13 and their campaign is that I'm number 13. Somebody's number 18, I'm number 8. Now, if we don't want to incur the cost of reballoting, do we then say the 3 is no longer there, so EC should just put a blank spot there? Number 2, EC itself can say, I've spent money already printing. It's 40 days to an election. Some people have started printing already. Should EC cancel all that and reprint based on new numbers? Or simply say, black out the number 3 because they couldn't replace? These are matters that are a bit confusing and complicated, and there's no legal precedent here. So I'm not sure how common sense. But I just want your comment, your thoughts on that, because if I say I've campaigned on number 10, and therefore I've invested 1 million cedis on number 10, any other number there will affect me. It will be injurious to my chances. What's the practical thing the EC should do here?
Yeah, so first of all, it points to the danger of actually campaigning on numbers instead of symbols. That is the first thing we have learned, or we can learn from this, that contesting or campaigning heavily on the position on the ballot paper can be very expensive. That is why I think we also have symbols, and then we have pictures. So that's the first thing. And the second point is, I think those political parties that have campaigned heavily on numbers will not be willing to, as it were, change their number, their positions on the ballot box. Because I can see, for example, NPP, which seem to be enjoying number 1, and NDC very happily campaigning on number 8. They would be very burdened with cost of signaling. So, in the light of this, I believe that even the candidates themselves, when they meet with the EC over this, maybe an IPAC session, they would want their position to be there. Then the EC would have to, I don't know whether they have to put a blank spot there, but that also creates another danger for, those of us who are interested in democracy and free election, we will also be worried that you have a blank spot, where people will be going to vote for the blank spot, and that is will affect the election anyway. So like you, I'm also in a very difficult position, and I'm still actually searching to see if there's any precedent anywhere for handling of these kind of things. So I am unable to actually make any specific, statements on this, just as you find yourself in that situation.
Wow.
All I know is that common sense would be a better guide in these circumstances. But there's another thing which we should, about the nomination fee, the filing fee. I think there's a provision which says that the EC should refund the money to persons who have died, either to the person's personal representative or the persons who paid the money. That is if they are not going to be, if the person dies. So in this case, the money will be refunded, and if there's a refiling, they would have to bring the money back, or they will just balance their books. You credit me, and then I debit you, and it still stands where it is.
So sometimes common sense is better than common law. Yeah.
I am unable to agree.
No, I say sometimes. I think based on everything you said, you don't even need to say it. It's implied. Thank you. Thank you very much, Justice I. I'm not saying that common law is not good. I'm saying that sometimes common sense or good sense is better than common law, because as you already admitted, the law, if we were all behaving predictably and reasonably, there will be, in fact, the reason we are multiplying lawyers is because of our own lawlessness as a citizenry. Because because if you take my pen and you don't give it back to me, I'll go to Sky and say you should compel the court to give it back to me. But if you give me my pen back normally, Sky will be unemployed. But because of our misbehavior, that Sky is learning all the law is learning.
Put it this way.
No, I finished you.
Yeah, put it this way. Two people agree that I will give you my pen. Yes. You give me 10 Ghana cedi for it, and you should give it to me within 10 days.
Simple.
You have written that down. Now everybody sees it. This is how it has to be. Then 10 days has come. You have collected my pen.
You don't want to give me that.
You won't want to give it back. You see,
that's when I need you. So if we want a better society, we don't need more lawyers. We just need better behavior.
Truth.
Because if we had better behavior, then the laws would then be using their imagination to craft other things, like maybe how to go to space and things, not how to settle fights, so that our lawyers can use their sense to do more important things than to say Nathan has taken Aloski's pen, he's not giving him back, a judge should compel him to give it back, pay a goat. They can now come up with laws to say, oh, if a man wants to go to space, what must he consider? More human advancement. When I don't need to see right now, everything thought, hey, it's not good.
But also, just to mention, to wrap up the point I was making, I think it would also be helpful if the EC provided some information on their site. I've been on their site extensively trying to find information on the 15 political parties or so.
And the names of the party officials on EC's website.
No, you see.
Oh, but that should be there.
Yeah,
that should be there.
Maybe it is, but I haven't seen it. I've browsed quite extensively.
That should be there.
Through it with my other colleagues.
Because you would think that the political parties in an election should have information on them.
On the EC's.
Or if for nothing at all, links to their parties must be on the EC side.
Yes.
So that you said this is a party. Where is the party's
digital
location?
I honestly believe, without evidence to show for the same, that many of the political parties in the presidential elections don't even satisfy the constitutional requirement. I know it's too early to say.
You haven't tested it by some way.
Yeah, but I have a strong feeling because, as Godfrey was saying, drive around the country.
You don't see anything.
There's a specific constitutional provision fortified by an act as to how many constituencies you should have offices in
to even qualify
to even enjoy registration as a political party. We don't, but you see, the issue is, if the EC does it right now, somebody will go to court and all. But that is where we should be.
And the other point is that
because look at it today, it might seem a mundane matter because it's a small political party.
Let it be a big one.
Let it be a big one.
And the other point too is that a political party must not contest a presidential election. You can be a political party that says
parliamentary.
We are contesting parliamentary to build our base. But it looks like people don't say anything for 3.5 years. 6 months to election, they emerge, and then they go and file to be presidential candidate
and make money.
And then, the whole idea of building, and you know the funny thing, the reason they are not able to contest the duopoly is that the duopoly are the only people who work round the clock.
Yes,
so in the 4 years that you are sleeping and waiting for something, they are working. Yes. Then you imagine the 3.5 years and say you want to be president. If you had even said, let me build 10 seats, 15 gradually. So I think that we need to rethink. Maybe EC needs to be firmer on getting the parties to do the right thing.
Yes.
All right. Let's read a few comments. I'm not sure if you can get into the US letter.
Yes, we can.
We can. Okay, let's take a break then. The US Secretary of State has written a letter or issued out a circular that anybody who foments trouble to undermine a democracy will be given a visa ban. Some people think that's the only language some politicians understand, so it is good. Others think the US people are burning ballot box. What's their problem? They should stop that. We'll deal with that when we come back. Stay with us.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
True, the NPP has done a lot to improve the basics.
Ajua is a beneficiary of free SHS, and now she is in university.
And that's the kind of leadership we need. Someone who is focused on making things better for everyone. But if you are, still there are a lot more to be done for the development of Ghana.
Absolutely, Kweju. The NPP has shown that real progress is possible.
On December 7th, let's vote to keep this positive impact going. Vote number 1 on the ballot. Vote NPP for a better and prosperous Ghana.
Switch to awesome. The Samsung Galaxy A06 performs better than your backup phone. Buy now from authorized shops.
National Health Insurance.
Hello there. I have great news for you. Registration for the National Health Insurance Scheme, NHIS, just got faster and easier with the new NHIS mobile app. Grab your smartphones and download the My NHIS app from the Play Store or App Store for instant enrollment onto the NHIS. All you need is your Ghana card. Yes, just your Ghana card. Enjoy amazing benefits like registering family, friends, and groups with easy payments from your mobile money wallet or bank debit cards. Link NHIS card to the Ghana card for yourself and others, renewing your membership with ease and locating the nearest NHIS credentialed facility, all on My NHIS app. Get to know the benefit package and over 500 medicines covered by the NHIS with a simple click on My NHIS app, so you do not fall prey to paying extra charges at healthcare facilities. Communicate directly with the NHIS through the new messaging module available on the app. Embrace convenience. Let's go digital with NHIS. Download the My NHIS app today and enjoy seamless access to healthcare. Terms and conditions apply. For details, contact the NHIS call center on 054-444-6447 or 0302-746-447. NHIS, your access to healthcare. This message is brought to you by the United States Agency for International Development, USAID.
Come on, come on. Good boy. Honey, look, he's crawling. Wow. Good job. The new Cerelac Wheat and Maize has the combined goodness of wheat and maize grains fortified with iron, vitamins, and minerals also found in fruits and vegetables. To prepare the new Cerelac Wheat and Maize, just add milk. Enjoy your little one's big moments at less cost. Cerelac, care for them, count on us. This advert is FDA approved.
Hello, spare driver. Are you sending the sales?
Boss, medicana kopim.
Hey, what the car to me so?
Boss, you no renew the insurance.
Tell it, I didn't have time. Oh, I had to go to the farm.
You can insure on the farm.
And I had to go to the market too.
You could have insured in the market.
I had to cook supper for my wife.
Even in the kitchen, you can still insure.
But how?
By texting or buyer on 0242 426 396 to help insure with Provident Insurance on WhatsApp from anywhere.
Annie,
babia. With Obaya, now you can insure your car anywhere, anytime. On WhatsApp, text Obaya on 0242 426 396 today. With Provident.
Man, you are covered.
Light off.
No problem. Experience 2 days battery power with the Samsung Galaxy A06. Switch to Awesome. OneXBet values your activity and wants to celebrate with you. Stay with us and enjoy 1x free bet, a weekly reward just for you. Sign up at onexbet.com.gh with promo code GHFREE to get a 300% welcome bonus. Bet to the correct score from Tuesday to Monday and get a guaranteed free bet. Millions are already winning. Join your friends and experience the thrill of victory with 1x free bets. Gambling can be addictive. Bet responsibly. Not for persons under 18 years. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission.
Ghana's biggest housing event, the Mikasa Home and Property Fair, is here. Whether you're looking to buy an elegant house, a cozy apartment, or genuine land, come and meet over 50 top developers, home loan specialists, home improvement specialists, and get personalized expert advice on your home ownership journey. Also, join in informative and stimulating seminars with industry experts and get the chance to network all for free. Date, 2nd and 3rd November 2024. Venue, Movenpick Ambassador Hotel. Time, 9 a.m. till 7 p.m. each day. Attendance is absolutely free. Headline sponsor, Gold Key Properties. Platinum sponsor, Clifton Homes. Media partner, Citi FM and Channel 1 TV. To exhibit at the fair, contact us on 050-168-0737 or info@mikasa.com. Mikasa.com, Ghana's #1 property website.
From the classroom to the lab, from the village to the city, the NPP's commitment to education is building a brighter Ghana. Free SHS isn't just about free tuition, it's an investment in Ghana's future. We have topped it up with free TVET and STEM education, skilled graduates, innovative thinkers, and a thriving economy. That's the promise of free SHS.
3 of my cousins have benefited from free SHS since 2017. One has graduated and is in nursing training. The other 2 are also in the university. I'll vote number 1. I'll vote for Baumia on December 7th.
We are building a better tomorrow through education. Vote NPP. Vote number 1. Vote Baumia. Baumia means business. Estro.
The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise. This is the Citi Breakfast Show. The city's biggest conversation.
Puff featuring the Caveman. Bring you some quick dedications before we read your comments. 054-998-6996. Happy birthday to Richard Kweku Mokpokpo Amitewe.
That's right.
The head of editing at Channel 1. Oh, my brother. He's a brother for many, many years. Amitewe is a big man. Today is his birthday. More years for you, Mr. Amitewe. Known at home as Kweku. Yes, Richard.
Yeah, so but let me also use the opportunity to celebrate Melinda Mawunya Agaji. Happy birthday to you, an amazing woman, Melinda, on your special day, and always I wish you love, laughter, and limitless joy. May this year bring you closer to your dreams and surround you with people you adore so much and who adore you. Cheers to another incredible year. Melinda of Escort Security.
Happy birthday to Mauli Biaku, a listener of the Citi Breakfast Show. Mauli, happy birthday to you.
Okay. I also have one here. This one is from one of our listeners, Dorcas Amy Reynolds. She's wishing her husband, Benjamin Amy Reynolds, a happy 40th birthday. And she and the kids are wishing him God's blessings.
Okay. All right. Here are some comments on the the issues we've been discussing. Today is not easy. The law is a complicated thing. Before that, congratulations to Nicholas Kofi, my good friend, president and founder of My Help, Your Help Foundation, for winning the coveted award Outstanding Community Saver at the Humanitarian Award ceremony at La Palm Hotel on Saturday. Coming in from Team My Help to Nicholas Kofi. All right, Caleb, what are the people saying about this situation?
Right, a lot of comments coming through. Evans from Gulf City is asking what will happen to all the ballot papers that the EC has printed. And then Kwesi Anfield from Wager is saying, I would be very happy if the GFP candidate is taking off the ballot totally so that the parties do a reballoting. We need to try this to make the whole election a bit fun. We are already stressed.
We don't need fun. We want fun. This guy.
Good morning, Bernard and team. The issue is here. One, is the running mate ready and willing to contest the election? Two, I suspect the party will withdraw from the election. This is from Joseph Akumaglo from Agona Kwenyako. Good morning, Bernard. I think you are wrong here and Sky is right. If the running mate can automatically take up the role as the candidate, then in the worst of scenarios, a running mate can actually secretly... Okay, right. I see you.
Yeah, that is confusing you. Eh?
No, I get his point. Albert is saying that people can actually do things to clear the flag bearer so they can take their place in the event that is that automatic.
And somebody even raised a question. My argument is wrong because if the person replaces automatically, what happens if the person was second?
Yeah.
Right. So like you were saying,
in a contest,
if the person had a close contest and was second, why should the choice of the winner? So I think your point is solid. The party has to take a proactive position to talk to the EC. All right.
Okay, we're not taking. Good morning, Bernard. Please, your argument is very true, and I think your entire our entire constitution needs a total.
My argument is actually false, based on what has been
what
has been concluded today. All right.
Hello, Bernard. During the GFP primaries, Kwadonko did not go unopposed. Don't you think the person who came second can wish to become the presidential candidate instead of the running mate?
Fair point.
The superior argument has won the day.
But who opposed the Kwadonko? When did they do their congress?
The fact that you don't know doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Yeah. So that's the point he's making. So hypothetically, whoever came second would say, why not me?
She's next in line, he or she. Okay, Bernard and team, guys, I'm shocked that you're discussing this matter. You go discuss that, no solution. Even things that are clear in black and white in the Constitution, 275 MPs, a Speaker and a Supreme Court are struggling to find interpretation. Relax, this too shall pass. Kwesi Akwa from Sakuma.
I see the reason why this is important is the Sky makes a fantastic policy. It must sound like, oh, Charlie, this one is a stretch. But we need clarity on situations like this. And if there is no clarity, provision has to be made. To forestall a situation where this could become a problem one day. So once it's come up, take it into account and fix it.
Yes. So a lot depends on what GFP does in informing the EC and in proactively replacing the candidate. EC also needs some time because they have to reprint the ballots with the face of the new person. If GFP fails to act, EC may have to remove the name of the party and they have to give themselves a reasonable time to wait. So a lot depends on what GFP does between now and at least 10 days.
Yeah, and you see, that is where a lot of hands will be involved. Because with the greatest respect, I think it is in some people's interest for GFP to withdraw from the race.
You think
and
so?
It is in other people's interest to have them maintained. The reason is that, look, while you may not necessarily care about these numbers and what they mean in the elections proper, The fact is that some people have marketed, as we've discussed, specific numbers in elections. Now, they going out of the elections would distort the plans of people beneath. They staying in the elections will make sure that those plans remain intact. Now, I raise a question, and respected Justice Sensai also alluded to the point. If you black out a candidate in order to maintain the order in which people appear subsequently, what you're doing, you're providing an opportunity for spot ballots to go up, because there are people who go back there and vote for that same, slot in any event.
Can I not say that when I balloted against 13 people? So if one of the 14 of us is no longer there, it's only fair to reballot. Can I not say that?
Yeah, that's a valid argument, but some people would argue. Most like the people who are enjoying the
position that is
the preeminent or whatever prominent positions they have now, will say no. Look, it's just one person that is dead, so you should do A, B, C, D.
But that person's death. So you see, Sky, that's why Justice Said says something. Sometimes common sense is better than common law, because you see, you have two arguments. You can say, as you said, that when we balloted, the position we chose has its implications. So when you chose number 8, the implication of number 8 is that if there's a reshuffle based on somebody inside moving, number 8 can move. But somebody can say it was 8 I chose, so 8 it must remain. Okay. Which is why sometimes consensus and common sense prevails. Because if you want to push this, where will you go?
That's the issue. But you see, as we know with our political parties,
they
don't do what is common sense.
Richard, I have a question. I have a question, though. So now that I've seen the notice of poll, right? And correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's out
for the parliamentary. For the parliamentary notice of poll, is the presidential notice of poll?
I've not seen it.
I think the parliamentary.
Okay, I'll have to. I just want to. Okay, so assuming the presidential notice of poll is out,
you have to withdraw it,
and this happens, what does the EC do? Does it have to withdraw the notice of poll and figure out what the next step is? Assuming, for example, all these other options we've discussed, i.e., GFP not being able to bring a new candidate and all of that. So if that's the case, does the EC withdraw the notice of poll, do a new one, looking at all the permutations?
In my respectful view, I think that's what should happen. They should withdraw the ones that are already in circulation and substitute the same with what will ultimately become the order of the day. As citizens, let's be mindful that, look, democracy, we have chosen democracy. It is an expensive process. That is why when a member of parliament dies more than 6 months for an election, we re-elect somebody to sit in there. It is irrelevant that we are spending so much money on it. Some people say we should use another process. So yes, the cost of running a democracy we will always bear. So this death, unfortunate as it is and tragic as it is, has opened our eyes to new realities. That yes, we may have spent a lot of money, but if the situation calls for spending more money, which perhaps would have been within the reasonable contemplation of the Electoral Commission when they were submitting their budget, we have to spend the money, because that's the situation we have. Because if you don't deal with it properly, the NDC will complain, the MPP will complain. These are the two major political parties that are actually in this race. The rest are there for whatever reason they are in there. For some people will say nuisance value and all of that. But the reality is that this is a race between the MPP and the NDC. And trust me, in the coming days, there will be a major battle as to what should happen and what should not happen. There will be people who will be going to the DFP to tell them that they should withdraw from the race and let it have implications. There will be people who will be going to tell them that please stay in the race. All of these things will have implications regardless of how
very interesting. All right, now the few announcements, and then if we have time, we'll talk about the US. At least you want to read their letter to us. But Mikasa's big housing event is happening, the Mikasa Property and Home Fair 2024. If you want to buy a house, either to live in or invest in as an investment property, or you want to get expert advice on home ownership, this is the fair for you. Come meet over 50 of Ghana's seasoned developers, speak to mortgage providers, home improvement retailers, and join in enlightening and relevant conversations within the real estate industry. It's on the 2nd and 3rd of November at the Cozy Insights of the Mevink Ambassador Hotels, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. each day. To register to attend for free, visit mikasa.com/fair or call 0501-680-737 or email info@mikasa.com.
And yes, moms, it's finally here. The news we've all been waiting for. Your favorite Cerelac now comes in a new variant with the combined goodness of wheat and maize grains, fortified with iron, vitamins, and minerals. And guess what? This new Cerelac wheat and maize comes at an affordable price of only 2 Ghana cedis per sachet. To prepare this new Cerelac wheat and milk, just add milk. In fact, Cerelac way Nyawihia milk Cerelac, care for them. Count on us. This advert is FDA approved. Now picture this: you're lying in bed after a long day seeking comfort and relaxation, but instead you're met with a mattress that sags beneath you, a reminder of shortcuts and compromises. Your comfort and well-being should never have been compromised. At Latest Foam, we prioritize quality, so step into any of our showrooms across the country where we serve you high-quality mattresses and furniture crafted with your ultimate relaxation in mind. The number to call is 0302-231-155 or 0302-008-499. Visit us online, www.latexfoamghana.com.
Now, which bank in Ghana is always at your service? Omnibasic Bank. Which bank is ready to assist you with a 24-hour state-of-the-art contact center? Of course, it's Omnibasic Bank. They are always at your service. They won Bank of the Year 2023, and they are Ghana's fastest-growing corporate bank. Walk into any of their branches, set up an account, and enjoy exceptional customer service. Omnibasic Bank at your service. Eden Heights is a well-planned and gated community, secured of course, with access to an ultra-modern sports complex, a great swimming pool, a football pitch, basketball court, and the entire works. They've got 2, 3, and 4 bedroom apartments and penthouses for sale and rental, and they have the highest grade of finishing or highest grade of finishing. Get in touch with them on 050-153-1444 or find them behind the West Hills Mall in Wager in Accra. Visit their website edenheights.com.gh to find out more. Eden Heights, the height of modern living.
We all need to get new skills. One of the skills I've been working on is my data analytics skills. Sky is working on his AI skills. So he's getting a master's in or a degree in that area. I've been working with my friends, courtesy of Finex skills.
Yep.
Now, if you want to improve your decision-making skills using some of the world's most powerful business tools like Microsoft Excel, Power BI, or ChatGPT, or Copilot, then Finance Skills Hub is the place to go, and you can call them on 0244-782-356. They are very flexible learning arrangements where you can improve upon your Excel, your Power BI, your Copilot, and ChatGPT usage by many, many eons. Call them or go to their website, Finex, Finex skillshub.com, to sign up for our corporate and individual training sections. Finance Skills Hub. Learn, connect, and grow. All right, Carla, can you read for me what the U.S. State Department is saying?
Yes, so it says visa restriction policy on undermining democracy in Ghana. Press statement, Anthony J. Blinken, Secretary of State, October 28, 2024. The United States is committed to supporting and advancing democracy in Ghana and around the world. The Department of State is announcing a new visa restriction policy today that will restrict U.S. visas for any individual responsible for undermining democracy in Ghana. This policy will take effect in advance of Ghana's presidential and parliamentary elections scheduled to take place December 7, 2024. This visa restriction policy would apply only to specific individuals who undermine democracy and is not directed at the Ghanaian people nor the government of Ghana. Ghana has achieved 3 decades of democratic elections and the peaceful transfer of power between parties, a record to be proud of and a model to cherish. The United States' readiness to impose visa restrictions if circumstances warrant is an example of our support for the aspirations of all Ghanaians for a peaceful, transparent, and credible electoral process that reflects the will of the people. This visa restriction policy is pursuant to Section 212A3C of the Immigration and Nationality Act and allows the Department of State to implement visa restrictions for individuals believed to be responsible for or complicit in undermining democracy in Ghana, including through the manipulation or rigging of the electoral process, the use of violence to intimidate coerce or prevent people from exercising their rights to freedoms of association and peaceful assembly. The use of measures designed to intimidate, coerce, or prevent political party representatives, voters, or members of the civil society or the media from voicing or disseminating their views or engaging in any other activity designed to improperly influence the conduct or outcome of an election. Certain family members of such persons may also be subject to these restrictions. Persons who undermine democracy in Ghana, including in the lead up to, during and following Ghana's 2024 elections, may be found to be ineligible for visas under this policy.
Very interesting indeed, the US. Now, I think we've said that this is not unprecedented as far as Africa is concerned. But Godfred, this seems a bit unique for Ghana, although history. I think I've seen something like this in the past.
Yes.
This is not.
This is not new at all.
This is not
they
new.
They issued a similar one in September 2023 in relation to Sierra Leone.
Okay, but in terms of Ghana, have they issued this before? 2020, 2016, 20?
Not that I recall, which is what I was saying in the morning.
2012.
But also, this has been a strategy that I think it's pretty new, and by that I mean like the past 4 years or so. It's when it's come up.
Sierra Leone, Nigeria.
The issue for Nigeria.
Nigeria.
For the Nigerian one was
2023.
Nigeria was 2019.
Does it work?
Okay, Liberia was 2023. So September.
Well, it depends on what success looks like in this particular situation. Because what if the person who's causing the disruption has no intention of going to the US? not every politician will have that at the back of their minds that, okay, I'm going to cause mayhem and then jump on a plane and go to the US. You understand? Or go seek, but it has turned out to be an effective deterrent also, and perhaps in their estimation, because we do know that a lot of politicians have a preference for sending their family out there during these times. So if they do figure that, okay, this is what you're doing, then perhaps we can. So however it is, we hope it does not become something that is required, And as a country, I mean, the people who are involved in the politics, they need to be smart as well. I mean, you don't need somebody to come and tell you how to run a peaceful election. But we also know there are elements.
And they said they were extended to family. They were extended to family and associates. So they sort of know that the propensity of these political people to want to resort to.
And then run away.
Wow. Yeah. It's an interesting thought. We'll come back and see if we can break it down. Stay with us, Citi Breakfast Show. We'll be right back.
Wafa, send us money to take care of your nephews. Now they are back from school.
Last month, I sent you guys money. What happened to all that?
Wafa, the challenges with the free SHS has taken all the money. I sent the boys money weekly to buy food to eat because of the feeding challenges confronting their school. Aside that, they are back in the house on vacation due to the double track traffic light system. And now I have to look for money to enroll them in private classes.
Baba, I understand your frustrations. Thankfully, the next NDC government under John Mahama will maintain and improve the free SHS program to make it work.
How will that be done?
The double track system will be abolished. A dedicated source of funding will be provided. Private SHS will be added.
Wow.
Food procurement will be decentralized and the quality of learning outcomes improved.
This will be a huge relief for us as parents and even for our wards in senior high school.
Exactly. That is why you must tell your friends to vote for the Mahama-led NDC come December 7th.
Wafa, no shaking cry. We have already advised ourselves. Who doesn't want quality?
Vote for change. Vote for John Mahama and the NDC.
Attention CEOs, join Ghana's top 1,000 CEOs, policymakers, political leaders, and ambassadors for the first Ghana CEO Presidential Manifesto Gala Dinner 2024 on November 7, 2024 at the Mervyn Pig Hotel, Accra from 6 to 10:30 p.m. This historic event will focus on reigniting the business economy and social contract for growth, a business manifesto for political accountability and sustainable development. Special guests of honor include His Excellency Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, Vice President of Ghana, and His Excellency John John Dramani Mahama, former president of Ghana. Attendance is by invitation and requires pre-registration. Register at ceogaladina.conetworkgh.com. For inquiries, contact 0546-391-970 or email ceogaladina@gmail.com. This event is powered by Chief Executives Network Ghana in partnership with Deloitte, PwC, University of Ghana, SIGA, GIPC, UPSA Law, and the Multimedia Group. The first Ghana CEO Presidential Manifesto Gala Dinner 2024, connecting political ambitions with business realities.
Come on. Good boy. Honey, look, he's crawling. Good job. The new Cerelac Wheat and Maize has the combined goodness of wheat and maize grains fortified with iron, vitamins, and minerals also found in fruits and vegetables. To prepare the new Cerelac Wheat and Maize, just add milk. Enjoy your little one's big moments at less cost. Cerelac, care for them, count on us. This advert is FDA approved.
This is a special security announcement. Trelidor, Africa's strongest burglar proofing, announces big discounts on all sliding security barriers, roller shutters, and clear guards to protect homes and offices from criminals. Trelidor is fighting rising prices by offering big savings and lower prices. Be safe, secure your premises. Google Trelidor or call 0561 24 24 24. Trelidor, Africa's strongest burglar proofing.
Are you hoping to start university this January? If you want a British degree from a world-class university at a fraction of the cost, then join Lancaster University Ghana in Accra. With a diverse student community, vibrant campus life, and up to 50% scholarship to support your study, Lancaster University Ghana provides you with a world-class education that creates endless possibilities globally. Don't miss this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Apply to join Lancaster University Ghana, where learners become leaders. Admissions are currently open for our January 2025 intake. Apply now for our foundation program. For more information, contact us at +233 030 221 8989 or send an email to admissions@lancaster.edu.gh. Lancaster University Ghana, the only British university campus in West Africa.
When Champions Gap 2020, in a world filled with uncertainty and shifting beliefs, where do we find truth? The answer is closer to you than you think. From Thursday, 31st October till Sunday, 3rd November, KICC Ghana presents When Champions Gather 2024 Conference at the KICC Dominion Center off Spintex Road. Our guest ministers teaching and demonstrating the power and truth of God's word are Reverend Steve Mensah, Charismatic Evangelistic Ministries, Prophet Christopher Yao Ano, ICGC Holy Ghost Temple, Pastor Dipo Oluyomi, KICC UK. Our host is Pastor Andy Yolson. Mark your calendars from Thursday 31st October and Friday 1st November at 6:30 p.m. each night, and Sunday 3rd November 8 a.m. at KICC Dominion Center. Remember, you shall know the truth, and it is the truth that will set you free. For inquiries, please call 0243 69 0071.
Wafa, send us money to take care of your nephews. Now they are back from school.
Last month, I sent you guys money. What happened to all that?
Wafa, the challenges with the free SHS has taken all the money. I send the boys money weekly to buy food to eat because of the feeding challenges confronting their school. Aside that, they are back in the house on vacation due to the double-track traffic light system. And now I have to look for money to enroll them in private classes.
Baba, I understand your frustrations. Thankfully, the next NDC government under John Mahama will maintain and improve the free SHS program to make it work.
How will that be done?
The double-track system will be abolished. A dedicated source of funding will be provided. Private SHS will be added.
Wow.
Food procurement will be decentralized and the quality of learning outcomes improved.
This will be a huge relief for us as parents and even for our wards in senior high school.
Exactly. That is why you must tell your friends to vote for the Mahama-led NDC come December 7th.
Wafa, no shaking cry. We have already advised ourselves. Who doesn't want quality?
Vote for change. Vote for John Mahama and the NDC.
The luckiest. *712#.
Luck is everywhere, for everyone, yeah.
Here's to the friends who dialed *712# and found no regrets. To the investors who struck gold. To the health workers who diagnosed luck with precision. To the tough guy who couldn't hold back his tears. To the passionate fan who couldn't contain his joy. To the seamstress who turned her hard-earned stitches into a bundle of happiness. And now, here's to you. Your next big win is right here.
Dial *712#. Now join in the luckiest winning celebration. Every 1st July 2024. Over dial *712#. Now I can to tickets as a group, individual, and now even as a community. Now win is the card prizes are in the community draw or go for the grand draw on the 30th of November 2024. Unlock your luck with *712#. Now join in the winning streak now.
*712#.
Luck is everywhere, for everyone, yeah. The luck.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
As I want to suspect, when you pay as a bit.
By Efo Kojo Maugbe, Accra. Get ready for an unforgettable theater experience. It's going to be a Ghana-Nigeria heat. So we have General Intatia from Ghana, Brian Jota from Nigeria, Clemento Suarez from Ghana, and Adjoa Orleans Lindsay, an adopted Nigerian, for a night of laughter, drama, and great moments. Date 8 November, venue National Theatre, time 4 p.m. first show, 8 p.m. second show. Bukom Boxing Arena is on the 9th of November as well. For more information, simply dial *713*33*10# or visit africaartsnetwork.com or egotickets.com. You also call 054-123-4586. Some new developments we're hearing from the UTAG that they have called off their strike. Yeah, so we understand that there's a new development in the UTAG situation. Don't forget, UTAG was one of the labor union that maintained the strike, although organized labor called off their strike over galamsey. Information coming into us suggests that there's a new development there. It's pretty much 10 o'clock. Yeah. So how Idris is going to bring us the news with possible more elaboration on that. And so thanks for listening to today's edition of the Citi Breakfast Show. My name is Bernard Avle. I was here with Caleb Kuda, Nathan Kwao, Richard Sky, and Godfrey Akotobo Afu. All right, so that's all we have time for. Let me say good morning to Hawa Idrisu with City News at 10. Good morning, Hawa.